Over the past 8 years, Brawl Stars has made over 900 skins, and today we'll rank every single one from worst to best. From rare skins to legendaries, even skins exclusive to the Chinese servers. Every skin will be judged based on these 5 criteria: their value, quality, theming, visuals, and of course my own opinion. Since it's a ranking, there will always be things you disagree with, so leave a comment and tell me how you would change the list. Alright, so arguably just as important as the best skin, what's the worst skin in Brawl Stars? This was actually a really difficult choice, but I ultimately chose Axel Willow as the definitive worst skin. There are a lot of problems with this skin, most notably the color palette is pretty poor. Separately, these colors can work with one another, but all together like this, they make the skin feel noisy and incoherent. You can really see this in the face with the magenta eyes, pale skin, orange hair, and blue lipstick. I excuse some of the later skins for less than stellar models and colors, but they have cool effects to back them up. Axel Willow, as a rare skin, has none of that. There's just no reason to ever use the skin when she has so many better ones. Old School Brock is a close second, and he's only saved by getting a custom model and animation, but that just does not save the abysmal color choices. They all heavily clash with each other and are incredibly saturated, especially when you take into consideration the rocket launcher's neon green against everything else. The vest doesn't pair with the hat, and the hat doesn't work with the rocket launcher, which doesn't match with the glasses, which doesn't work with the entire outfit. Not to mention he only gets this. No extra effects in game, just a little dance and a downgraded model. America Shelly is the ugliest soccer skin by far. She has this bright red uniform which clashes hard with the rest of her model, especially her bright purple hair and royal blue gun. None of the colors work well with each other and generally feel very bottom heavy. Some of the other soccer skins are decent, just not this one. I get that this is a real uniform, probably, but at least give her a different color pair of shorts or something. Infernal Chuck has some of these same issues as Axel Willow, but it's done slightly better. The color scheming is an improvement, but still just does not hit the mark. I feel if the colors were swapped, where the train had the fiery aesthetic and the outfit was dark and broody, this skin would actually be kind of awesome, but as it stands, Infernal Chuck looks like a total mess. Now we have every single true silver skin. I don't know a single person who actually prefers true silver skins to actual skins, but they're definitely better than the ones I just talked about. While pretty much all of them are up to your own personal preference, there are a few which provide more value than others. So from worst to best, or more accurately, most or a loss to ones with pretty decent value, we have Eve, Lola, Otis, Kenji, Clancy, Edgar, Buzz, Miko, Jackie, Bo, Bang, Willow, Ruff, Bell, Jean, Cole, Tara, Mandy, Dynamite, Blue, Ollie, Coco, Boo, Lumi, Chester, Spike, Cordelia, Carl, Janet, B, Finks, Grom, Byron, Maisie, Barry, Max, Amber, Sprout, Grifta, Young, Colette, Gray, Sandy, Rosa, Gail, Kit, Rika, Lily, Allie, Gus, Ems, Shade, Shelly, Piper, Buster, Primo, Mina, Ziggy, Trunk, Melly, Meeple, Stu, BB, Barley, Angelo, Sam, Daryl, Pearl, Frank, Hank, Chuck, Doug, Crow, Squeak, Draco, Brock, Mortis, Mo, Meg, Serge, T, Kaze, Leon, Bonnie, Ash, Tick, Pam, 8-Bit, Juju, Penny, Jesse, Larry, Charlie, Nani, Nita, and Mr. P. Pink Piper is, you guessed it, Piper, but pink! I like how this looks over her base model. I just think the pink looks far better than the blue, but when you look at nearly every other skin in the entire game, this just starts to feel kind of lazy. GT Max is usually at the very bottom of the list for many people, but I don't see the overwhelming amount of hate it gets. Like, orange and blue contrast each other nicely, so the colors work with each other and there's not anything inherently wrong with it. It's just kind of boring and feels very lazy, just like Pink Piper. Retro Nani and Classic 8-Bit don't have any innate flaws like the previous ones, but that doesn't mean they're good skins. The problem with them and many other skins you'll see is that they don't really add anything. They're not ugly, but they're just a slightly varied version of the base model, these ones more so than others. At their core, I do appreciate the references to old school game consoles, but I can't put them any higher than here. Rockabilly Mortis is not the ugliest skin out there, in fact, it's pretty decent. The problem though lies in its value. For 149 gems, 5,000 bling, or $5, you only get a new model and animation. His attack and super effects are the same and he gets no new voice lines or sound effects. He's essentially the exact same as Mortis. For a skin at that price point, I would expect far more value for what you're paying for. I don't care what anyone says, Mascot Daryl is one of the worst skins ever made. He's a big fat spear with a stupid little squished head and dumb little sneakers. I've never hated a skin more than I do Mascot Daryl. Get your 4th grade soccer team out of here. Mascot Daryl fans be like, but he gets custom attack effects. I don't care. If you like Mascot Daryl, then your opinion does not matter. Coach Mike and PSG Mike are not terrible skins. They got custom animations, attacks, supers, and they juggle balls. They're really good value for just being rare skins. Huh? What? Oh, these skins suck. Turns out these are epic skins, which normally would be fine, but these are essentially recolors of rare skins with the same level of effects. You'll see them later on. PSG Shelly is one of those skins you never want to get in a star drop. For a super rare skin, you don't get any more value than the other Soccer Shelly skins, and for what? Though to give it some credit, it's not too bad. Out of every soccer skin, I think this is the most basic one. The colors are nice, it just doesn't have to be a super rare skin. Drake Meeple irks me the wrong way. I don't know what it is about him. Maybe it's the weird dome thing on the back of his head, or the bowling pin arms, or even the weirdly tilted holes on his head that don't line up with the patterns on the bowling ball. It's a creative skin, but I'll be okay with a spare. Boombox Brock is a real vibe. He dances around with no care in the world, but what he really should be caring about is his outfit. Ugly ass green hat with a pink rim? Hell nah. Giant gold chain with a B on it? Talk about ego. I don't mess with him all that much. It looks like he had Mo pick out his outfits. And Mo's blind, if you didn't know. Angelo is uglier. The color scheme isn't that bad. I like the lighter tones. It's just that they already have a disgusting model, so recoloring it won't do them any good. Supercell did the best they could with what they had, so I'll give them some credit where it's due, but it's still not that good. Vampirimo is ugly. I'll be the first one to say it. I'm sorry, he just looks so weird. I don't like his face or the weirdly tiny wings on his back. Vampirimo reminds me of the early Executioner from Clash Royale. Very uncanny. It's also kind of weird how he's supposed to be part of the skin trio with that one Draco and Lumi skin. You don't belong here. Constructor Jackie is just green Jackie, which isn't the worst thing ever, but it's not the best either. It's a relatively harmless skin, though it doesn't stand out at all. It doesn't help that Jackie has some insanely good skins as well, which we'll look at later. Sorry to all three of the Constructor Jackie fans out there. High Stakes Clancy has some very good theming. He's a gambler! But the yellow just doesn't really fit him. Clancy's base model is already overall pretty hard to look at. But wait, can someone tell me what that thing on his tail is? They had to make a brand new model for it, so it must be something, right? Classic Dynamite and Boomer Dynamite are not the best skins out there, but not really the worst. Boomer Dynamite looks like Wario, and Classic feels like a better base model, or even like Yosemite Sam. I personally would never buy these skins, but if you get them from a star drop, I won't judge you too hard if you use them. Summer Trunk has a super creative name, and the theming is pretty spot on, but he kind of looks like balls. Brawl Stars loves their bright, saturated colors, and this is like the epitome of it. If you love pink and purple, then you'll love Swimming Trunk, but it's just not for me or the general public. He's probably on some sort of list. Classic Shelly is a cowgirl through and through, and I love her for that. Her outfit is decent, her hat looks really cool, and she's holding her gun kind of weird, but she's fine. You can't really hate Classic Shelly, but she just doesn't hit as hard as the other skins. Outlaw Colt is the definition of a 29 gem rare skin. At this point, it's just alternate versions of the base skin. But if you really have no other Colt skins, I can see you running it, but still, I don't know why this really exists. It doesn't look bad, it's just so basic. Rockstar Colt is slightly better, but still pretty bland. Rockstar Colt is based on Elvis Presley, which is a pretty cool reference, but I don't think the average Brawl Stars player even knows who that is. I will say he looks pretty handsome in this outfit. The red and white combo is fire, and I'm so glad they changed his hair color to black because red hair would just not work on this model. My Pookie Shark Tank Hank, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry you're so low, but you're just so Hank is a pretty difficult brawler to make good skins for, and you can tell. I don't know if purple really fits him all that well, but I like the rougher aesthetic he gets with this drawn-on mouth and the little scratches and one mark of graffiti. At least he's big, so you can really see the skin in game, but I don't really want to. Handsome Colt is actually so trash, bro. His effects are no better than Rockstar Colt, and he's just straight up ugly, bruh. Not to mention, he's bald. But people say he's a reference to something. I kind of forget what it is. Seeing Frank in a beach outfit is what I live for. He's so happy to spend some time getting his toes all sandy. My favorite little detail has to be all the tan lines all over his body, but it gets kind of annoying how despite the tan lines, his skin doesn't darken at all compared to his base model. I do think the blonde hair is a bit of a strange choice, but this is such a Brawl Stars core skin. It doesn't mean it's that good though. Zeta Patenio Colt, Atlético Nacional Colt, River Plate Colt, and Club America Colts are all decent rare skins. You don't get any new effects in game, but I can see the appeal, especially if you like soccer or the respective teams. Though for those who don't care for any of those teams, it's really not the best. Spicy Mike is another one of those negative elixir trade ass skins. He does get everything an epic skin should. New attacks, supers, and a fun texture. Though this feels like the weakest out of every epic skin that isn't outright scamming killing you. Remember, this skin cost $5 whole. Give it a spicy trail when he throws them, maybe some soup splashing out behind him as he walks. Just give us more of a reason to buy this skin. Koala Nita is a super rare skin, and while it gets a pretty nice model, the koala bear is super cute, she doesn't get much else other than that. If you didn't know, Koala Nita was actually made as a fundraiser for wildlife relief in Australia, which immediately puts it lower on the list. I can safely say that this is one of the worst Nita skins, but that says a lot for how solid the upcoming Nita skins are. Hog Rider Carl is so unfortunate. Like, believe me, I love the Hog Rider. I wish I was the hog. But for a super rare, he gets nothing. He's really just getting carried by his branding. Make him throw a hammer and, I don't know, make a super spin some Royale hogs around it. You know what? If this video gets 10,000 likes, I'll remake these bad value skins. How's that sound? Doing what Supercell doesn't want to do. I have no idea what Vintage Pearl is supposed to represent, bro. I get that she's a wind-up toy, but what wind-up toy? Why are there these circle things poking out of her? What's that thing on the top? Why are her arms so bulbous? I'm assuming the designers were limited by Pearl's weird model, but there has to be some reference I'm missing here, right? Ricochet has quite the history. This was actually the original model and name for Rico, so for some this might hold some nostalgia, but it's just not enough changes for me to justify putting this above some others, and at the end of the day, it's essentially just a base model skin. Boca Junior Shelly and Ude Chili Shelly are both decent skins for the same reason as the other soccer skins. Not much to complain about, they're there if you like Boca Juniors or whatever. Kaiju Buzz is supposed to be based off the Kaiju robot from back in the day, back when Brawl Stars was good, but he kinda just looks like Barney, you know, the dinosaur. I understand the designers were limited with the color scheming since it's based off something else, but I really don't like the lime green and the purple together, especially on a brawler like Buzz. While it can work in some other cases, which you'll see later, I don't think it looks the best here. The skin as a whole could also have been done much better. I want to see those pronounced eyebrows of the Kaiju. Its robotic arms are bigger and those large spikes. Missed opportunity, Supercell. Red Jacket Rico and Reloaded Ricochet are the most unnecessary skins in the entire game. I don't think anyone ever asked for a red recolor of a remake of a remodel, but in the end, they're really just basic recolors, so there's not much to hate or love. To give them at least a little bit of credit, Red Jacket Rico gets a slight model change compared to the base Rico, but not Reloaded Ricochet to Ricochet. El Primo Corinthians, El Primo Universitario, and El Primo Club Nacional are my favorites of the soccer collab skins. I think they make Primo look a bit cooler than the other skins do, and he doesn't get any effects or animations, just a better look. Good job, Primo. Proud of you. I don't think Cordelius works in green, but Poison Cap Cordelius almost got me to change my mind. Almost. I think if Supercell went harder with the Poison Cap theming on this skin, it would be a lot better, but as it stands, it's a pretty boring skin. Give him the El Atomico effect, or even just give the mushroom some faces and we might have a different story. Draco Doug was actually released before the Brawler Draco was released, so now there's a Draco and a Draco Doug who has nothing to do with the Brawler Draco. Maybe Doug Draco will come soon? Anyways, this is pretty much just evil purple Doug. I think Doug's base model is perfect, so I've never wanted to run Draco Doug, but at least he still has his trusty hot dog. Some people love Dark Chester, some people hate Dark Chester. I fall with the latter. He reminds me of Draco Doug, just ever so slightly better. Chester gets this spooky evil aesthetic, but it doesn't do it for me. I think the black and light blue in this stripe pattern look pretty bad and clash heavily with each other in a pretty bad way. I get he's a jester and that's what jesters wear, but I don't know, they could have done this far better. Mask Spike. Redditors love Mask Spike because he gives more value than the average rare skin, but I think that's stupid. So if you didn't know, Mask Spike is exactly what it sounds like, Spike with a mask. He randomly switches between a few: Sprout, Brock, Primo, Colt, Bruce, Tick, 8-Bit, and Tara. It supposedly gives you more value because you get all of these masks in one skin, but let's be so for real here, you're only going to be seeing one of them at a time and they don't really add anything to him that you don't usually see. It's a pretty skin, but technically you do get some value. Cinema Shade is another pretty boring skin. He gets a brand new yellow sweatshirt and a fancy little hat, some 3D glasses, and that's essentially all. It doesn't try to do anything creative or innovative and plays it super safe. But then again, what else are you supposed to do with someone like Shade? Mean Girl Ems had quite the glow up from her college Ems days. I wouldn't say this is a major improvement, but it's definitely something. I think the outfit and hair look fine enough, but the blue skin just isn't doing it for me. I'm not racist. If they kept it the same purple hue as base M's, I would probably like this skin a bit more. In any way, this skin is far better than College M's ever was. MC Mandy isn't everyone's favorite skin, and it isn't mine either, but I really love the color scheme on this skin. Her purple and blue hair is really neat, and the yellow complements it so well. Though I will say her base model is so iconic, I would prefer to run that over this. Can we get an Olivia Rodrigo Mandy skin next? Supercell, please? Please? Billy the Kid is purple Kid with an eye patch. You know, that's about it. It's really unfortunate since Kit is such a popular brawler, but it's so hard to make a good skin for him since he's literally just a cat. But for what he is, this skin is alright. The yellow contrasts well against the purple, and the brown shoes and gloves are a subtle but nice touch. Linebacker Bull and Touchdown Bull are not my favorite skins ever, and I personally would put them far lower on the list because I don't like football. Clearly, because I'm ranking Brawl Stars skins. But if you do, I can see the appeal. I especially love how it looks in game though. You can clearly read the numbers on his back, and it's pretty clean. I am a bit biased because BB is one of my favorite brawlers, but Vicious BB is such a cool skin. I absolutely love the outfit, and the colors work so well. Black and pink are great together. But at the end of the day, she still gets no special effects or anything, and in game she looks nearly identical to base BB. There are a lot of amazing BB skins, this one's just a bit less amazing than the others. If she got a cool attack or super effect, that would be so awesome to see. Objectively speaking, Stara is up there for one of the most valuable rare skins in the entire game since she gets this little glowy animation on the constellations all over her. And if you didn't know, this replaced Iris Tara, which was like Pink Piper, which was just a lazy recolor. But otherwise, Stara is just Tara with a new outfit. I will say though, from the top she looks very similar to Urban Ninja Tara, so you could probably trick a couple people into thinking you're Urban Ninja Tara if that's really what you want. For some reason. Usually Stu skins are really cool because he can get so many supers. You can get to see his effects a lot more than other brawlers. But since Wicked Stu is only a rare skin, you really don't get that because he doesn't have any. Despite that, I think it's a pretty alright skin. It makes sense for him to wear something like this, but it's a really boring skin. This could honestly just be his base model and no one would even know. Warrior Bow actually feels like an upgraded version of the base model. I could totally see Brawl Stars remaking the Bow model and making it look something like this. Bow looks like a real native or something. He's all tatted up and his muscles are far more pronounced. They're so pronounced. Ugh. Not that I was looking or anything. No. Red Dragon Jessie is literally just a McDonald's worker and you cannot change my mind. 9 to 5 Jessie has an alright model. I love the dragon Scrappy, but for a super rare skin, you don't get a whole lot of value. Though this skin was made for Brawl Stars China's 1-year anniversary or whatever, so if you love China and tariffs, then you might mess with Communist Jessie. Jurassic Finks really kind of fits him well in a weird way. As a brawler, Finks has nothing to do with dinosaurs, but his weird hat definitely works with that aesthetic. The makeshift feel of it feels like a middle school Halloween costume, and I just think that's really neat. It doesn't do much else, but it's good for what it is. Wizard Barley and Red Wizard Barley are incredibly good value for the cost. For an essentially free skin, you get a new model, animation, and even a new attack and super model, which I never knew. For a rare skin, this is probably some of the best value you can get. For a rare skin, Sam the Teddy is good enough. He's supposed to be a teddy bear, which, I mean, I guess he is. To me, it feels like all the colors in his clothes are fighting to be the prominent color, though it plays well into the patched up used effect that it gives off. And for that, I really like how they executed the actual teddy bearness of it. Leon the Stray is also just good enough. I mean, if you really like stray cats, then you go girl, but it's just a pretty boring rare skin in my opinion. No extra effects, no new projectiles, just Leon with a different furry outfit on. It is kind of cute though. This gets 5 paw prints out of 10. What? I'm such a sucker for good color schemes, and RoboPenny has a pretty decent one. The blue all over her body looks really nice, and her hair reminds me of like a lesbian, and I love lesbians. Though her mortar is really bad. It looks like they just took the base Penny mortar, took it out of the chest, and called it a day. But it does make the shooting animation look a lot sillier, I will say. Firecracker Wizard Mike doesn't need to exist. I don't like it all that much. Yeah. Sheriff Shelly has such a nice outfit. The brown color scheme is very nice, and the subtle pink on her shirt works incredibly well. She might not get any special effects, but I absolutely love this model, and it's one of the better looking rare skins in my opinion. Similarly, Deputy Brock is super swaggy. His cream colored suit and pants paired with the dark colors and gold accents all work great together. Running duos with Sheriff Shelly and Deputy Brock is actually so aura. Definitely some of the best actual real world outfits in the game. Beach Time Mortis has a really fun model. I dig it because he has a shovel. He is a super rare skin though and doesn't get any special effects, but he's a real vibe. There's not much else I can really say about this fool. DIY Search is super creative. Turning this already boxy brawler into a cardboard cutout is actually genius. And I might sound like a broken record at this point, but it doesn't give you any value for what you pay for. As a super rare skin, he just gets a new model, and while it's really nice, it's not worth the price. But come on, how many skins have a real life version of it that you can actually build yourself? Not many. Just one, I think it's just this. Panda Nita might be more of a biased pick since I love pandas, but this is a great rare skin. Nita gets a pretty substantial makeover and Bruce completely changes to be a big cuddly panda. Oh, it's actually so adorable. Not to mention with all the Nita skins, you get a lot of value from it since you get a massive new model being Bruce with her. Potato Squeak is the ugliest Squeak skin by far. And that's perfect because that's exactly what they were going for. I mean, just look at him. He looks like Mr. Potato Head. I will say this, his attack and super effects are very lackluster. It's pretty much just his normal moves with a potato stuck to them. I love potatoes as much as the next person, but it definitely could be a little bit more potato-y. Road Rage Carl is a super rare skin and is probably the definition of a super rare skin. He gets an alright model and some subpar effects, though I will say I really like how he leaves behind tire marks when he walks. I do wish he left some more prominent ones when he uses super, like Crash Test Daryl though. There are Road Rage Carl lovers out there. I just am not one of them. I wasn't sure where I wanted to place Jackpot Griff. I think his color scheme kind of sucks, but in game he looks super tough and it actually matches his normal attack and super colors very well. Though as an avid gambler, I can't help but really enjoy Jackpot Griff. The 7s for eyes signify luck, which is pretty cool. He only has like 40 bucks in chips, so he kind of stinks. And he has very, very thick thighs. God, look at those things. Oh. Jungle Gene is a monkey, and I like monkeys, but excusing any, questionable themes, it's a pretty solid rare skin. He's a monkey, and monkeys are cool. Sleepy Sandy may not be the best skin out there since he's really just a blue version of Sandy. He is wearing spike slippers, which has some sauce to it. Considering he's only a rare skin, I can't expect too much more, but I would love a few more Brawl Stars references to him. We got the spike slippers, so why not throw him some extra little details in there too? It also doesn't help that Sandy gets some of the best skins in the entire game, so you probably won't be using this one. Bandito Lou is a pretty decent rare skin. He turns into a cowboy, sure, but it feels like it's missing something. Maybe it's the colors or the heavy use of simple base colors or the slightly darker blue they gave him for some reason. Something is off and it's not in my pants. What does that mean? Gem and J might not be everyone's cup of tea, but I feel like this is exactly what Jaeyoung would wear. Normal Jaeyoung is weekday Jaeyoung and Gem and J is weekend Jaeyoung. Like two alphas fighting for their prey. There's like two sides. Ugh. First Mate Fang is only a rare skin, but it's kinda tough. I don't know what it's supposed to represent or why it exists, but it's a good look for him. He just looks like a normal, everyday guy that likes to cosplay as First Mate Fang. I don't know, man, I'm just grasping for straws here. I think Kansai Dragon Bull is supposed to represent this guy, and low-key, I can see it. For that, I think it's pretty cool. I mean, it's a pretty clean skin from the golden shotgun to the blonde hair, even the tats on his arms. You love to see it, but I mean, I don't know, he just looks kind of cool. Tech Maisie's colors are great. I love the blue on black with the yellow accents, and it all works incredibly well with her skin tone. Since she works with popcorn a lot, her hair reminds me of butter popcorn, while her normal hair is salted popcorn. I don't know if that's what they intended. I might just be fat. Biker Buster looks exactly how I imagine bikers to look. Big mustache, ripped black leather jacket, jeans, and a comically small bike. But for real bikers, something else is comically small. Oh, and by the way, the bike, it just looks incredible. This thing carries the rest of the skin, which is its job anyways. It might just be me, but I think the light bulb part of his projector bike looks like corn on the cob. God, I need to stop thinking about food. I'm hungry. I could eat a Mega Box. Mega Box Daryl gets a super cool design. I mean, he's literally a walking Mega Box. If this were a rare skin, maybe even a super rare, I could justify putting this skin higher, but it's epic. His brawler description says he gets custom effects, but I don't see any. If he had the same effects as like Omega Box Daryl, you could see him far higher up on the list, but right here is where he belongs. Holiday Party Frank used to be one of my least favorite Frank skins, and well, it kind of still is. I love the little twirl he does in his animation, but for an epic skin, the effects aren't substantial enough to warrant this. A couple bells and leaves fall off the tree, but that's just about it. If you're not looking hard enough, you won't see this at all. Sugar Bob Mike is really ugly, but you can't lie, he is good value for the cost. He's a reskin of Santa Mike, so already he's not the greatest, but for a super rare, it's not that bad. His attacks turn into candy canes and his super is now a big bag of goodies. It's not too noticeable, but I mean, I don't know, it's not that good. Robin Hood is essentially just Green Grom, but Green Grom has some sauce to him. He's obviously based off Robin Hood, but I really wish he wasn't a rare skin. Having Grom throw arrows or something would be so cool, but we're stuck with normal Grom shots. If you like green more than red, then woohoo! There you are. Zombrock might not be everyone's favorite skin ever, but I definitely enjoy it. Supercell almost always cooks when it comes to his rocket launchers, and this is no exception. This coffin actually looks so cool, and also, did you know that his outfit is a reference to Thriller by Michael Jackson? I think that's such an underlooked reference that not many people know about. He doesn't get any new effects, but this gets the point across well enough. Monterey Mo is exactly what Mo needed. I do wish they gave him a cheesier vehicle, but what else can he really ask for? Unfortunately, since Mo is so small, seeing all the details in game is nearly impossible, and it just makes him look more like a yellow version of Mo, not necessarily cheese. Maybe if he threw cheese, I would not be a fan. I would be gratefully obsessed. Thanks, ChatGPT. Super Ranger Brock was the second ever Brawl Pass skin, and it shows. Granted, it's only a super rare, but his attacks are lame and he doesn't even get anything new lingering on the ground. Not to mention, he looks like a weird bug or something. I'm so glad they remade the skin later on. Beach Belle is widely hated and I just don't get why. We're not getting Summer Melody. Deal with it. I think Belle is one of the best brawlers to actually get a beach skin too. Her rifle turns into a giant water gun. She's holding a bag of sand. She has a beach towel over her shoulder and a scuba mask instead of her usual glasses. This is so on point for her, but I can't put it much higher since it's just swimsuit Belle, and that's about it. Sif Melody is based off, well, Sif, who's the wife to Thor, and for what it's worth, Melody is a pretty good brawler to recreate her. She's just a girl. This outfit works very well with Melody. I love the blonde on her and the blue complements it so well. She looks straight out of the medieval times and I'm all for it. Unfortunately, her freaky notes aren't yellow in game like they are in her model, which is really sad. Patrol RT is surprisingly such a fitting skin. RT as a brawler already patrols around Star Park, so him turning into a real op is only fitting. I also absolutely love the siren on top of his head. They didn't have to add this, but it's such a small but awesome feature. Though I will say he doesn't change much apart from that. It's essentially just a white and blue recolor at this point. Cord Eva is such a stupid skin, and that's why I love it. She might not get any special effects, but putting Eve inside of an apple is the smartest thing Supercell has ever done. I wouldn't even be surprised if Eve hollowed out an apple herself and made it her own spaceship. I don't know why she's blue though. That's kind of weird. It would have been kind of funny if they made her a worm as well. Squeaky Note is one of the few squeak skins that turns him solid instead of translucent. It's a play on Sticky Note, which I didn't catch on for far too long. I love the little stationary references on his model, from the stamp on his hat to the little pins on his mouth choker. But my favorite thing about Squeaky Note has to be how he looks like a solid ball of piss. You know how much I love piss. Dark Knight Draco has the same color scheme as Vampirimo, so automatically he's not my favorite, but I feel it works far better on him than the others. The dragon looks really good with the red and purple, but Draco himself looks a bit goofy. He's got that weird hair thing in the back and his shirt is oddly over detailed compared to the rest of the skin. It's fine for what it is, I guess, but it's a flaw with the theme of the skins rather than him. Superstar Stew is honestly a bit higher than I would like, but it's got some sauce to it, I can't lie. To all the patriots out there, I bet you'll eat this up. He rocks the red, white, and blue, and this is not American stew, it's... Oh no. No! No! Choco Piper is the original Pink Piper, and this is what we want. Not some lame recolor. She looks good in this outfit, and the bear umbrella is so cute, but it's quite a shame that she gets literally no new effects to pair with it. It's such a missed opportunity. It's a super rare. Give us a little bit more. Golden Barley is better than the actual Golden Barley, and you cannot change my mind. Why spend the equivalent of $134.60 when you can get it for $2? Golden Barley even gets a custom attack for being a rare skin, much like Wizard Barley. That's pretty awesome if you ask me. While the rest of him is pretty mid, you can't not like Golden Barley. You can't. Unlucky Juju has an incredibly nice color scheme. Her skin tone works so well with the whites and the blues work super well as an accent. I don't know the exact reference or what makes her so unlucky, but I immediately think of Mr. P with her outfit. I mean, I'd hope I can get lucky with her one night. Agent P has so much aura. The crisp, fancy suit, the giant red tie, the glasses with no temples. I don't know how you could hate a skin like this. He might not get any special effects or really a whole ton of detail, but you don't always need that when you look like this. This really says a lot about society. Gala Mortis is actually so awesome. I love how he looks completely different from base Mortis, and the pink accents look amazing. This skin really reminds me of like a Persona character, and he has that clean, prestigious outfit with the look that he can kill you. Out of every rare skin, he has one of the best chances of being a super rare or even an epic, and I really hope they do upgrade him in the future since he would look so amazing with effects and animations. Whist Meg is cool, I think. Her color scheme is right up my alley since my favorite color is brown, but I don't know, its existence is beyond me. Foot Bonnie is what Mascot Daryl wishes he could be. I don't know if this was intentional or not, but her cannon kind of looks like a soccer cleat with wheels, and that's just too neat. Not to mention her helmet acts as if she's a ball being shot out of her cannon, which is even neater. Before Bonnie got hit with like 50 banger skins, this was the one that I was always rocking. Dark Horse Berry is definitely a reference to something, maybe Mad Max or the Conehead Zombie. While he doesn't get any new effects or animations, I think this really fits his overall mood. This is definitely one of the better attempts at trying to make a more emo, grungy skin. Leonard Carl is such a goofy little guy. There's something cute about him, but also something terrifying. If he didn't have that huge smile on his face, I would think he's out to get me. When he attacks, there's a little music note that appears, and I think that's cute. Other than that, there's not much going on with Leonard Carl. I think it's silly, but silly can only get you so far. For an epic skin, Hot Rod Brock is very lackluster. His missiles get a new texture and a trail effect which look alright, and his new brawler model looks very clean, but I would honestly expect a lot more for a skin at that price point. For what it is though, it's not the worst defender out there. I absolutely love the rocket launcher car thing, and he's got a whole lot of swag. Maybe in the future he can get some more love. Biker Car looks weird. Can I even say that in the Big 25? I mean, just look at him. Actually, I won't make you look at him for that long. I'm sorry. While he looks super ugly, his actual in-game effects are the opposite. His pickaxe is his wrench, that's whatever, but his true beauty lies in his super. It's this giant thing that spins around and he leaves tire treads in this spirally pattern. I think that's just so cool, but I just can't get over how ugly this guy is. Egg Rico is not worth 199 gems, I'll tell you that much. Sure, he's relatively egg-shaped now, but literally no one asked for this. It doesn't help that in-game his projectiles look barely any different. If you look really closely, you can see that they're eggs, but compared to his normal ones, they're maybe like, I don't know, 5% different. If you love Easter, his super shoots decorated eggs, but no one's favorite holiday is Easter. Dark Knight Lumi has the same flaws as Vampirimo and Dark Knight Draco, but I think she looks a lot better in them. I don't like the red eyes, and the Thanos skin is still off, but she slays in that outfit. This actually makes Lumi look like a knight, with the armor looking absolutely sick. Her Morning Stars, or flails, work super well with this. Though, in the end, I can't get over the skin and the face. Ladybug B should be called Ladybug because well, you get it. It doesn't do much else other than turn her from a bee cosplayer to a Ladybug cosplayer, and interestingly, it works pretty well. Sure, her attacks and super don't change to fit that, but she looks cute in this outfit. Rah, I hate Ladybug Bee! Hey man, just let her be. Ladybug Bee. Sakura Spike is great. She's pink, her model is pink, and she's pink. She even gets some subtle but nice attack and super effects. I especially love how their creator code got taken away for sharing their revenue on Twitter. I love how her attack flowers are pink and the little flowers in her super are a nice little touch. I love Sakura Spike, and you love Sakura Spike. We all love Sakura Spike, even though she's really just an upgraded recolor. Sandcastle Ash is a sandcastle. How is this my job? Fun fact, Brawlerween Rosa was the first ever brawler you can unlock from a challenge, as this gave you Rosa as well as the skin. Unintentionally or not, she looks like Sans Undertale, and that's probably the closest we'll ever get to a true Undertale collab. Either way, her attacks are whatever, they look like giant paws. Her super doesn't give her any new shield, but her Sans cosplay wraps around her head, and for those few seconds, she looks amazing. I heard Night Witch Mortis was made to look ugly on purpose, but I don't buy it. Now, he's supposed to be based off the Night Witch from Clash of Clans and Heyday, but it really doesn't feel like they tried hard enough to make it look like her. The dress isn't nearly long enough, he's way too pale, you can see his legs, the handle is brown, and the face is weirdly long, and low-key should be hidden somehow. Eve is one of my favorite brawlers, but Spiky Eve just does not hit the mark. I like how she gets this evil thing that yells at her like an abusive boyfriend, but in-game, she doesn't look as different as I'd like it to. More so like an upgraded version of base Eve. I won't say that this is the most egregious epic skin out there, but I'd love to see more. Man, I really don't know what to say about Rusty Otis, so let me tell you a fun joke about Rust. How's that sound? Alright. You know, actually, I haven't done this in a while. I don't think I can. Beach Byron is my favorite beach skin. I think. I don't remember if I put any higher, but he low-key cooks in this fit. From the tan lines to the palm tree shirt, the massive mojito as his staff, and cooler of beers on his back. This proves my headcanon that Byron is a raging alcoholic and the only thing keeping him somewhat sane is sand in his toes and sun on his skin. It's just what I want to be when I grow up. Goblin Carl really has no reason to be this high up on the list, but just look at him. You can't tell him he can't be up here. That'd be messed up. His little minecart has a cute little chumpy face. He's got big goblin ears, a silly little bow tie. Like, what else would you want? An attack and super effects. Shh. He's perfectly fine the way he is. Pop-up Daryl is kind of ugly. I'll be the first one to say it. His barrel also reminds me of that mobile game where you throw knives at that log. You know what I'm talking about. Maverick Crow. You either love it or hate it. I'm in the middle, so you either love it or hate it. Or don't. Okay, well, he reminds me of Top Gun, and Top Gun is actually goated, so Maverick Crow has to also be goated, right? Usually, I don't like the huge variety of colors and skins, but it somehow works here. It says he gets custom effects too. I don't see him, but why would Supercell lie to us? I don't know why El Dragon Verdoso and El Dragon Rosado exists, but I'm glad they do. I think their models are both pretty good respectively. Like, come on, how many skins can you say have toes? Not that many. I wouldn't know. Also, the fact that they're flying too is nice, but I wish they kept that in game as well. Unfortunately, it's still primo and he barely gets any new effects. High Flyer Lola is so simple yet so good. She eats in the stewardess fit and her makeup fits well. Gotta love her little fox as well. It would be so funny if it was an airplane though. That would work. There's not much else I can really say about her though, just that she's pretty good. Graffiti Leon, Graffiti Stu, Graffiti Alley, and Graffiti Mina all share the same graffiti effect, like the Galaxy skin in Fortnite. I think it's kind of cool. I mean, it's essentially just the base model with this new effect, which features tons of different Brawl graphics, stickers, and sprays. The idea itself is neat, but I'm not the biggest fan of it out there. El Mayordomo looks all fancy in his new suit, which suits him pretty well. The robotic arms make him look a lot more intimidating, and the mustache reminds me of Mumbo Jumbo. His attacks turn into robotic fists, and he jumps with rocket boosters on his feet, or something, and lands with a poof of smoke. I think it's cool in theory, but it's primo. You can barely see these effects when they're happening. You know how much I love stereotypes and Macaron Miko? Oh, it's what I live for. He's a French man through and through. Probably. I've never experienced a French man. But if I were, this would be him. He's got that mustache, the massive baguettes, the beret, the striped shirt, whatever the hell this thing is called. Everything! The only thing holding this skin back is the J on his ears, which stand for Jimbo. And it should be M for code Muyo. Use code Muyo in the Brawl Stars shop when you're making any single purchase. Bandita Shelly is actually pretty decent nowadays. It used to be hot GB buns, but like 15 remodels later, it looks quite nice. I love the color scheme on the skin. The darkest red bandana and holster look amazing with her dark purple hair, and the brown shirt and jeans pull it all together nicely. It's such an improvement to the original one, it's crazy, but at the end of the day, it's still Bandita Shelly. El Atomico gives Primo this green aura around him and makes him really stand out amongst other brawlers. My little headcanon for this skin is that this is the failed product of a true gold or silver skin, since they also have that aura around them. But just like them, his model stays relatively the same, just with these little Johnny test symbols around him. If you love the effect it gives off for some reason, then I can see why you'd pick this up, but with the lack of anything else, he's not the greatest ever. Secret Surgevis isn't anything too special, but just being called Secret Surgevis is amazing in itself, you can't lie. As a Secret Service agent, he has a giant tie, a pen which doubles as a camera camera, giant shades, and of course, a briefcase. Surge is actually one of the better brawlers to get this if you want a rare skin. Since he has multiple stages, he gets extra looks. Stage 2 gives a suitcase wings, stage 3 gives him glasses again, and stage 4 gives him a lightsaber, bruh. Why does he have this? I don't know, but I'm not complaining. Navigator Colette is pretty decent for a super rare skin, though I always seem to get her confused with Gladiator Colette and Inspector Colette for some reason. I don't know if that's just me. The problem is that Colette gets so many great skins already. Why would I want to play Navigator Colette when I could play all of these other amazing skins? She gets little pixel effects, very nice, and this little heart trail, also very nice. I fiend for Fiendish Amber. Fiendish Amber might not stand out the most, but this definitely fits her vibe. She looks great in the dark outfit, and the slight red color shift for her skin works really well here. I wish this was an epic or mythic skin so she could get some really cool attack and super effects, but I don't mind this too much. I don't know if this is intentional or not, but in her animation, she usually gets burned by her torch and tries to put it out, but in Fiendish Amber, there's no fire. Maybe it's just a glitch, but I like to think it's because she's a fiend. And fiends are like evil from like hell, and they're already around a fire, so they don't get burned. It makes sense. White Crow is such an OG skin. I remember this thing from way back in the day, and since then he's already got remodeled once, but he might need another. I like the more expensive look he has to him since purple and gold both signify wealth, though he's just a bit boring. I never knew this, but he does get a new attack. Instead of throwing out his usual daggers, he throws out white feathers, which I don't think anyone ever noticed, because no one plays this skin. The skin's garbage, bruh. Cuckoo Colette is the exact skin that Colette needed. Out of every skin we saw so far, this fits her the best. She's put into a raggedy straitjacket with no shoes, bags under her eyes, and stains all over her clothes. If this isn't fitting to Colette, then I don't know what is. Sous Chef Ruffs is one of my favorite rare skins released in recent times. He might not get any special effects or anything, but he looks so good in this outfit, and I love how he looks in game. If I were to be a sous chef like him, I would also wear that. Pirate Jean is low-key an underrated banger. He absolutely nails the pirate aesthetic, especially with the octopus tattoo on his stomach, which I feel really sells the skin. And come on, you can't forget about the pirate hat on his magic lamp, and especially the hook for his super. For a super rare skin, this is great. For a super rare skin, Caveman Frank is pretty decent. Frank fits perfectly with the caveman aesthetic, and he does get new attack and super effects. They're nothing too special, but hey, at least it's something. Prehistoric Frank is the better version of Caveman Frank. The effects and animations are the exact same, it's just that this time he gets actual skin, which in my opinion looks far better than the purple he has already. His clothes also look like cheese. Whenever I see Streetwear Max, I think of Tensai, that guy who always used Streetwear Max and could dodge really well. Not dodging in ranked, just like dodging like the bullets. Ruff's Chimmy is adorable and you cannot change my mind. He does a silly little dance and he has such a derpy little face. I just want to squish it and impale it with a stick, then roast it over the fire until it catches fire and then put it out between some chocolate and graham crackers. Other than that, in the actual game, he looks nearly identical to Ruff's, just with a bigger hat. He shoots off little dog bones, but you barely notice it. Fruit Samurai Kenji is so nostalgic to me. He reminds me of Fruit Ninja and how you could like slice the big fat watermelon with your finger, and the watermelon on his back is like when you would miss the middle and get less points, but otherwise I love all the little fruit references around him. The watermelons on his clothes, the watermelons on his back, the watermelon color scheme, and the watermelon suka. But my favorite detail has to be the strawberry, which is definitely a reference to Fruity Kaze, who has a strawberry in her hair when she's in ninja form. I love how this cute couple shares the watermelon aesthetic, and I definitely think she pulls it off better. She's got watermelons all over her, and this makes her look so sick, especially in game with her fruity red hair. Back to back fruits. What am I, fruity? Strawberry Lily is a lot simpler than the Fruity Ninjas, but she cooks in this fit. I adore the strawberry head and strawberry thing on the back, and the strawberry shoes, and well, you get the point. In the end, it's just a remodeled Lily, but man, is it nice. First Blob Squeak is by far the worst Squeak skin that actually tries to be good. Like, I'll excuse Squeaky Note, but this does not get the same treatment. He looks like a big booger. I don't know how they thought making a translucent green Squeak was ever going to be a good idea, but here we are. Looking at it all together, his attacks even look like giant balls of mucus as well. It's actually so gross. He then throws off toilet plungers for his super. even better. I love it. Thanks, Brawl Stars. Shin Edgar, Drift Edgar, and Masked Edgar. These are all very messy skins. There are so many things going on, both colors and details, but despite being so ugly, the effects are pretty alright for an Edgar skin. They splatter a bit of green stuff and the super has these teeth, but despite the effects, you can't get over how ugly they are. All of the cat versions of Kit are next, and from best to worst, it's Guizmo Kit, Tabby Kit, Mariano Kit, Siamese Kit, Calico Kit, and Yuki Kit. I love these skins because they're based on real cats, and I love cats! But none of them are my beautiful babies, so I don't love them as much. Though if you have any of these cats in real life, I can see you always playing it. They're fine for what they are. Malicious Mandy is one of the ugliest skins in the entire game. I don't know what I'm looking at. I think the colors are so muddy and muted, which make it feel very messy. The design itself is pretty interesting, I guess. This skin is the definition of airballing a 3. I will say her super looks really cool, summoning a seagull or something that shoots a bird. Can't lie, that's tough, but at the end of the day, you're putting makeup on a pig. Dark Fairy Janet is also super ugly. Like, who designed these? She's got the same muddy ass color scheme as Malicious Mandy, except it's slightly more readable. Slightly. I don't even know what they're trying to get at with this skin, though I will say her effects are better. She shoots off little spirits and some Tanuki sprout at plants while her super drops some magic. Quick Draw Edgar is really good value for a super rare skin, but in the end, it's the worst Edgar skin. His model looks really clean, but just like any other Edgar skin, as you'll see, his effects aren't pronounced at all. His new attack is barely noticeable, and I honestly don't think anything changes compared to his base skin. If they gave him the effects of Thief Edgar, I might change my mind. King Crab Tick is only a super rare skin, which means there's nothing too special about it. His attacks turn into spiky little balls, but that's just about it. Sure, he turns into a crab, but there's not much going on for this fool. Not much else to say. He's just a crab. Krampus Ash is really creative. I mean, making him a gift box? That's too smart. It's even cooler when he rips off his face with his stick. This could have just been Ash, but the team decided to put Krampus inside, which adds a whole new layer of meaning behind it. But God, his attack is actually so ass. It doesn't feel impactful at all. It's just a few scratches, and I don't really feel the impact of it. But the rats are nice. I like how they burst into purple and stuff. Dino Leon is pretty decent. His dinosaur costume is like an upgraded Finks costume, and I appreciate how he throws teeth. I think that's a nice touch. Though I don't know what's up with that super. It has nothing to do with dinosaurs, I think. Though this is a pretty solid skin nonetheless. Robo Mike is our first legendary skin. Give it up for Robo Mike. And it's all the way down in like 605th place. Do you know why? I think I know why. You don't know yet because I didn't tell you. But some of you astute viewers might know. I don't think I'll say it though. Yeah, Kitboxer Gold Paul, and Kitboxer Dark Paul. These were the first ever Brawl Pass skins, and low-key, it kind of shows. They're not bad skins by any means, but okay, well, they're not the best. The models look nice, I really like them, but Kit himself just doesn't have that much to work with when it comes to attacks or supers. Like, bruh, this looks like the base model Kit to be so for real. This, of course, applies to all 3 Kitboxers, but they're all kind of lame. Challenger Colt is very overrated, I hate to say it. His model is cool enough. It looks like an upgraded base model after all, and he shoots Brawl Stars? I don't know how that works, but nonetheless, it's very clean. Unfortunately, that's where the positives end. In-game, he looks nearly identical to Colt, and the attack and super look nowhere near as premium as he was made out to be. Sure, he shoots stars, but what if he shot star drops? Hire me, Supercell. I'm so happy all I got to be Jake from Subway Surfers, because if it weren't for him, it would have went on someone stupid like Colt. He's just a normal guy with a really low quality PNG of the Subway Surfers logo on the back, and love Subway Surfers or not, he's a vibe. As an avid cat lover, Neko B disappoints me. She got the Neapolitan ice cream helmet, bro. What is this? I think it's cute though. I love the gotcha machine on her back. I never realized that was there. In game, she shoots off happy little cats. Then when it's charged, she shoots an evil cat. I kind of like that. I especially like how every time she hits someone, it does a little slash. That's such a small but fun detail. It's still not the best skin for an epic though. Sally Leon is so slept on. He might just look like Leon with a yellow sweatshirt, but that's far from the truth. Well, it's true, but it's really good anyways. He has a cute little chick on his head, and I actually love the attack effect. These little eggs actually feel substantial, and they stand out a lot. While the super isn't anything too special, I think the skin is cute, and you will not comment anything saying otherwise. Sharktooth Colt could be be amazing, but has so many flaws that really hold him back from greatness. I think his outfit is alright, definitely very colorful and vibrant and so aquatic. Can't lie though, his attacks are pretty lame. I wish his bullets were different colors of paint or something, and his super doesn't do it for me either. Could be a great skin, but it feels like it's lacking in every department just a little bit. Ollie G is actually the best example of a skin that should be the base model. I mean, he actually looks so swaggy. The maroon looks great and the blue mask works surprisingly well. I think base model Ollie doesn't look too bad, but this feels like an evolved version of Ollie, you know? For an El Primo skin, El Tigro does a fine job at giving us some value for our money. He shoots pixely punches and lands with a pixely landing, but there just feels like some missed potential here. Sure, he looks kinda cool, but think about just how much cooler he could be if he was an actual tiger like Lion Bull. I don't know if that's just me, but that'll be much more awesome than this. I love Princess Shelly's theming, but Supercell really missed the ball with this skin. I think she slays with the dress, and this is honestly one of my favorite looking Shelly skins. I can't say the same about her effects though. She shoots off 5 big bullets with her attack, which make it feel so much less impactful. Usually with Shelly skins, they cover up the fact that she only shoots off 5 bullets with multiple little ones in each one, but with the lack of that or any effects to pair with it, it leaves her feeling weak, at least to me. She reminds me a lot of like the bottom path Dartling Gunner. You know, it's kind of cool, but it's pretty useless. Coco Star has the opposite effect to Princess Shelly. I think the skin is sorta lame, but the effects are very good. For his model, he just wears a hat and a new suit. Okay, but his attack shoots off a bunch of stars and his super shoots off even more stars. I think it's great. It's even a super rare skin. I've always said this and I still stand by it. Not that the skin is great or anything, but Runaway Gray has excellent theming. Like, don't you just think it's fitting that the brawler who can teleport away from danger is the one that's a runaway convict? Yes, I think so. If you don't have any other gray skin, this is probably one of the best ones to get if you're low on money. Poor. He also died during red light, green light, so that's something. Hunter-Gatherer Ally is another skin with excellent theming. Unlike Jurassic Finks, I feel like it truly makes sense for her to be dressed like this. She essentially swims around hunting her prey and that's what a hunter would do! Even if this is only a rare skin, it's actually super on theme for her. I don't mind. Graffiti Mina, Beat Chaser Mina, and High Score Mina. I don't know why these are mythic skins. These are the worst priced mythic skins in the entire game, but you know they're fine. Bo was the perfect brawler to play Santa Claus in the hobo skin. They really missed the chance to call him Bo Ho. No, but really, he fits the role well. The reindeer hat he got from killing Rudolph is a nice touch, and you can clearly see his 6-pack under his coat. I kind of wish his shots and supers were more winter themed, maybe take some inspiration from Santa's stew, but hey, could be better, could be worse. The summer skins never fail to deliver. Well, sometimes they do, but not Holiday Pam. She looks like an actual diva in this skin, and don't even get me started on the effects either. I'm a sucker for water themed skins, and hers are pretty good. Definitely the weakest of the water bullets we'll see, but nonetheless, I mess with it. I can't get over the fact that her polka dots look disgusting in game. I have mild triphobia, so this low-key freaks me out. Dark Bunny Penny is the emo sister of Bunny Penny. It's like Starfire and Blackfire, and that's why Dark Bunny Penny is better than the original. Both skins are kind of cute, and I feel like that's what makes it much more menacing. As for the attacks and whatever, she shoots carrots, which is fitting, and they split up into sliced carrots, which is also genius. I will say her mortar looks really stupid without the barrel sticking out. This thing looks like a JBL speaker. Smooth Lou is whatever. It's fine. It's got some charm to it, you know? He could charm me up. It's like Giyun x Inho. I appreciate Smooth Lou. I can't say I would want to run him, but he's very nice. For his attack, he throws microphones, which I honestly think are a bit too bright, but is super carry since he has these little dancing notes that circle around it like the mango platform. Headless Tickman is an adorable little guy. Look how happy he is. He's so happy. And the little friends on his ball hands look so happy to see you. For some reason, this is a legendary skin, but I don't know if it's all there. Don't get me wrong, it all looks so amazing, but this is mythic quality at best, Supercell. Come on now. You're crazy if you think I'm paying 300 gems for some trick-or-treat buckets. Werewolf Leon might be super high for some of you 12-year-olds, but let's really look at this skin objectively. We joke about Leon being a furry, but he's actually furring out with this one. And that's exactly why it's so high. I think for an epic skin, his attacks are pretty alright. I don't have a bone to pick with them. His super sucks. Nothing changes. Speaking of Mingle, Street Ninja Tara has these cards that spin around her, which are very cool. I love when skins have these extra animated effects to them. Unfortunately, I think in-game, where it matters, she looks pretty lame. It's pretty much just Tara. Am I wrong? The cards she throws don't have that weight to them either. Her super projectile is pretty nice, but that's where the compliments end. B800 is very underwhelming. He's supposed to be like Terminator, which is nice, but that's only like 20% of it. The other 80% is literally just base model bull, which really makes it that much lamer in game. Doesn't help that inside of the actual game, his attacks look 20% different too. The only redeeming factor he really has is in his super, which gets this futuristic feel to it. Other than that, I don't feel like I'm playing a new bull skin most of the time, but if the minimal vibe is what you're going for, then this is all yours. Pirate Poco is in dire need of a remodel. You can tell he's a pretty old skin, though that doesn't mean it's bad right now. It's simple, but effective. I can't tell if he's strumming his broom or petting it though. I appreciate how in-game he's still strumming his broom and his attacks are actually so Poco. Like, you can't tell me this doesn't scream Poco. You can't. Please don't. Speaking of music, we have DJ Frank. Now, his motto is really lame. At first glance, it looks like Bass Frank with this thing on his head, but he actually changes his fit for the occasion. I'm proud of you. Well, the motto is kind of lame. His attack and super are actually so peak. He shoots off like a wave of music waves, which you can't not say that you can't say that it's not can't be cool. Like, you can't. For a super rare, Trick or Treat Leon is very good. His new look is fun and spooky. I think they did a great job at making his hoodie look like a real Halloween costume of a ghost. Wait, a ghost! Ah! And I appreciate his new attacks. They feel good to use. This Leon skin definitely has the best super animation out of every Leon skin we've seen so far, with a little ghost and bat spawning, though I wish it stayed on screen for just a little bit longer. Shark Leon is also a super rare, and I think it's better. I know some of you are going to disagree with me, but that's okay. I know I'm right. Like Leon the Stray, he gets new animal for his hoodie, this time being a shark, but I adore his attack. They're these little blades of water, I think, and they drop fish when they land. That's so cool! They even drop little droplets of water on the way, which is a very unnecessary but fun detail. The super isn't as good as Trick or Treat Leon's, I will say, just splashing water around him. Jade Agent Colt is the poor recolor of an existing skin, and this is probably one of the most egregious examples. This is the recolor of Royal Agent Colt, but why did they have to choose the ugliest possible colors to do it? Maybe it's just Colt being ugly, but I don't think anything works here. You might be wondering why he's so high if I hate how he looks. Well, that's because the effects are actually pretty goated. You cannot tell me that this isn't tough. He literally creates yin and yang symbols when bullets land on something. If that's not Archiora, I don't know what is. Black Green Melody is this low because she's ugly, but it's Melody, so she can't be that low. I usually put Brawl Pass recolors like this alongside the main color, but this one's just so much more of a downgrade than the other variations. In my opinion, the camo doesn't really look the best on Melody or match her freak. Her notes get new effects like the others, but it's really just the vibes. Unicorn Night Barley does the Gangnam Style. That's the only reason I like this skin. Sugar Rush Sandy is packed full of Brawl Stars references. Want me to list them all? No, I don't care. He wears a Leon hat, he has a Brawl Stars shirt, Rosa themed sandbags, Byron Snake slippers, an El Primo balloon, and a watch. Okay, that's just a watch. Other than the references, there's not much going on. His attacks feel fuller than usual and kind of look like they have El Primo faces on them. Moon Bunny Squeak is a certified cutie pie. He's so pink and gelatinous. Oh my gosh, for a super rare skin, he's pretty good. My Strawberry Milk Baby has some decent attack and super animations, but I really like how they glow when they're being shot off and burst into stars and stuff. It's such a cute skin. Cheerleader Rosa is alright, but she looks a little bit goofy. Why does she look like that? I don't know, but I don't really like it. The effects are alright, I guess. I mean, it's not bad. It's just not that good either. I feel kind of bad for Edgar because he doesn't have a lot of room to get cool effects like other brawlers. So he goes here. I think Edgar skins are really cool because his scarf gets a big cool look to it, especially in game, and this is actually so cool. I don't care that he gets like no attack effect, just having this like pulsating plant around his head is too neat, especially when he attacks. Lil However Penny is just an elf. I think elves are kind of cool. Yeah. Ems will always be higher up than the average brawler because she gets such a pronounced attack and super. DJ Ems is pretty great, I can't even lie. She's sparkly, she has a solid color scheme, and she's fashion. But in game, oh, I wish I liked it more. Her attack really misses the mark for me. It doesn't feel like she's actually shooting anything of substance. It needs more definition, but nonetheless, it's still alright. Her super, on the other hand, is pretty great. A massive disco ball? Sign me up. Rage Quit Tara has quite the fashion sense, but she's kinda stupid. She's not looking at anything on her phone, but I'll excuse it just this time. Just for her. I don't like her attacks as much as I do Gambler Tara, but the pixely effects and how she throws phones is so fitting. Even better, unlike the other Tara skins, her super suck actually gets a fun animation. Rage Quit Tara more like really quite good Tara, but not as good as Popstar Janet. Was that for a transition? Smooth. Popstar Janet is a real girl boss and really feels like a pop star. As a super rare skin, she gets a great animation and the effects really help seal the deal. Just look at this and you can't tell me you can't imagine her like dancing up on stage with Melody or whatever. The stars for her attack and the little ripple thing for her super, it all plays into the theme so well. Trash Poco is anything but trash. I love how expressive he is. Really rocking out there, aren't you, buddy? If anyone plays the guitar or whatever this thing is, let me know what he's playing if it's anything. I'm curious. Poco skins always get an amazing effect in game since he has such a wide attack, and this is no exception. Overall, pretty decent skin. Unicorn Bonnie. Cupcake Daryl is actually so fun. I can't. It can't just be me, but do you think of EDP when you see the skin? There's no way it's just me, bro. Excusing that, he really fits with the cupcake aesthetic. I especially love the frosting shooters. He even got some good effects. Low-key goated skin, I can't really lie. I would love to put Banana's Colt far, far, far lower, but I know you monkeys would hate me if I did. Yeah, I called you monkey. What do you want to do about it? Climb on me? Steal my snacks? Of course you would. This boy is ugly as hell and don't even look like a monkey. More like a combination of Martin and Chris from the Wildcrats, bruh. What is this? That's not a good thing, by the way. But I will admit, him shooting bananas is pretty fun. If all guns shot bananas, I think the world would be better. I think the world would be banana. Honestly, Royal Agent Colt and Banana's Colt can be interchangeable. It's a trade-off, you know? Banana's Colt shoots bananas, Royal Agent Colt shoots Chinese philosophy. You know, I'm all about equality. That's probably why Brawl has 5 letters and Stars has 5 letters too. So it's even in balance, like yin and yang, and a banana that's even on both sides. You know what else is 5 and 5? Banana Colt's toes. It's like Supercell new. Gold Neko B is just Neko B, but gold, and that's something alright. It's more recognizable as a Maneki Neko in my opinion, and way better than the original Neko B. The attacks and supers both get a gold accent to them, and she even gets the gold shine that true gold skins get. This is definitely an improvement to the original Neko B. Ronin Ruffs was one of the earlier Brawl Pass skins which used to be so good! Not saying the new Brawl Pass skins are garbage, but there was a certain charm to the early ones. This one definitely hits the feeling more than others. Ruff gets this sick pose and futuristic fit, but that's really where the peak ends. His shots look nearly identical to his normal ones, and the super just throws a small sword. I love how the skin presents itself, but I hate how it's so subtle inside of the actual game. I feel so bad for Griff because it's so hard to make an actually good skin for him because of his weird head. Like, just look at Slayer Griff. Bro, what is this? He's half reindeer, half Slay. I mean, his Slay half looks good, but this is just uncanny. His attack and super is kind of underwhelming as well, especially for a brawler like this. I don't know, it's definitely worse than Sunken Chest Griff, who makes better use of his weird head, turning it into a mimic. It's like he's a pirate who got a chest stuck to his head and now he's all angry because of it. I mean, I would too. His attack and super are also quite lackluster, but hey, what do you want to do? BB Lante should not be this high up for most people, but I am not most people. That mask is low-key so badass, and the attack effect for this skin is great. It's like a little lightning strike. It's incredibly simple and probably only lasts for like 3 frames, and the bubble doesn't change. And you know, her colors are a bit of a stretch. But at least the attack is cool. Ivy Belle is an interesting one because her design is really all over the place, but I kinda dig it. The bright neon-y colors are very pungent and large, but I think they work to sell that infested plant theme. This is also one of the better Belle attacks. I really like how the enemy gets vines all over them when they're hit. Muyo approves of this skin. Boy Scout Gus doesn't feel like a rare skin to me. He feels super rare at least. Before Gruesome Gus came into the game, this was the Gus skin to run. I mean, if you ever watched Up, you know immediately that this is Russell. For a rare skin, I think the model is great, and changing the balloon to red really makes him stand out on the field. Great rare skin, but doesn't provide as much value as Ultra Driller Jackie, who has such a fun model and animation. I love how it looks like she's about to run over a line of children with her drill right after snorting a line of something else. Despite these positives, her attack and super have some flaws. For some reason, they decided to give her this crackling effect for her attack, and when she walks, which don't get me wrong, is really cool, but that's all they did. It's just her normal attack with some crackles, and her super doesn't change at all. I would love to love this skin more, but it's definitely been forgotten and outclassed over the years. I've always thought Robo Spike was a legendary skin, but thank God it isn't. This makes Spike look like a big robot thing, which is kind of cool. He throws out this flail looking thing that bursts out into little bullet things. His super is a bit less cool, simply throwing a chained up ball of metal that bursts into spiky spikes. Out of every epic skin, this has to be the most average epic skin out there. It's nothing great, but nothing that bad. Bell Nani is a bell. Who would have thought? Other than being a bell, she has no other bell characteristics about her. Her attacks are eggs, and her super is also an egg, which bursts into confetti upon landing. The super feels pretty fun to use, but this skin is really good if you want a pink Nani. If not, I would stick to any other Nani skin, unless it's retro Nani, but otherwise you're good. Egg Pam is also a mythic skin, much like Egg Rico, but she's a bit better. I think it's actually silly how she's Humpty Dumpty and the little eggs that are bouncing up and down in her turret are kind of cute, kind of weird. They kind of look like little butt cheeks. Unlike Egg Rico, I think her attack is more fun. Shooting fried eggs is cute, and there's a small chance that one of them will be bacon. It's a fun skin, but for a mythic, I don't know. Pyro Spike is an excellent super rare skin. He throws out a fireball for 4 elixir, and it bursts out a few little fireballs upon impact. It's like when you drink the whole bottle, and then you still have a couple shots. His super looks like a larger barley attack, just with spike needles all around it. While the effects aren't the biggest nor the flashiest, it does an excellent job at what it can do. That's why Pyro Spike is my goat, and you aren't. Hockey Mortis is one of those skins that literally no one wanted nor needed, but its existence is appreciated. I really like the cold effects emitted from each attack, and the super is actually so cool. They could have also easily just made it a big hockey puck, but they went above expectations and gave this weird pattern thing. Coral Bell is like Ivy Bell, but even better. She nails the underwater vibe. From the coral horns, barnacles, to the scales, they all represent this theme so well. The attack is even better though, with this green trail behind the actual bullet and leaving behind some green remnants on the enemy. Her super is just as cool, shooting off a jellyfish. Pretty fire skin all in all, but things get way better with some of the upcoming Bell skins. Romantic Dynamite as a super rare gives you hella value. For an older man, he looks good in that fit. His attack are bouquets of explosive flowers that leave behind a heart cloud, a cloud of love and mistakes. His super is just that, but a heart box. If you're really sad and need some love, then this is the best value Valentine's skin for you. Or you can go in the comments. Maybe there's someone there. I don't know. Ferocious Fang is the green version of Furious Fang, and it just doesn't make me as happy as the original. I think the mint green works with the rest of the colors, but it doesn't fill me up as it should. I will say I like how they kept the little blue smoke after each attack, and when supering, the trail that leaves is also very nice. I can't say it's all that bad, but I think there are better skins than this out there. Lavish Lola looks like a normal girl, and I'm so glad we have a handful of skins that look like that. It doesn't mean they're all good though. I think she has a pretty sick fit, but it all looks like the you buy on Temu. In game though, I think she looks good enough. It's all pretty basic, you know, just shooting stars, but for Lola, it's whatever. Rebel Lola is the original version of Lavish Lola and looks so much better in my humble, honest, objective, non-subjective opinion. While she only shoots stars, her model carries. GeForce Janet is a perfect example of a skin that makes her look so normal, and I love it. She's got a fire fit on, and despite not getting any special effects or anything, look how great this is. Pair this with Maverick Crow, and you have quite the duo. I think the colors on this skin just look so good. Lion Dance Brock is so swag. This skin was made for the Year of the Dragon, along with Dumpling Darrow, and he looks amazing in it. I mean, check out that dragon rocket launcher, the hats, the shirt, and I don't know, shoes? I mean, damn. The effects on this skin are also very nice. Not the flashiest, but the sparkles just hit different. Unfortunately, this doesn't translate into a super. I don't know, it's a very good Brock skin. Pop Penny should not be a mythic skin, I'll tell you that much. It's literally just Penny, but as a stupid little Funko Pop or something. This is super rare material, if anything. Let's be so for real with ourselves. Her attacks don't even change all that much. They just look a bit shinier. I will say though, the way she walks is super silly. She's walking like she's Dr. House MD, bro. Dark Tide Carl and Captain Carl. They're pirates. Like, come on. What'll he be next? A cake rit? Because it's pirates, cake Is cakes like pie? Cake Rit? I think his motto looks so awesome. Floating on top of that pirate ship looking all piratey. It's actually so well made. His attack and super also feel really wet, I guess you could say. Attacking drops fish, which quickly suffocate, and the little water splashes in his super make it look like he's slipping and sliding around. These are super well-made pirate skins. I wasn't sure which one to put above the other, so now we have Mr. Fly and Daruma Mr. P together. Mr. P skins are kind of weird. It feels like they're all relatively the same quality, and that's definitely not the case for the other brawlers. Anyways, they're both super rare skins, so already a bonus, but the theming on them is on point here. Mr. Fly's attacks burst into this gross purple goo, and of course the porters are flies. Daruma P on the other hand just makes so much sense. Darumas have smaller versions of themselves inside of each other, so of course Mr. P would have this skin. Whichever one you go with, you for sure will not be dissatisfied. King Lu is really something else, you know? He just exists. Why does he have an egg in his tummy? We won't ever know. Why is he always so angry? We also won't ever know. If you know, let me know. His attacks have this yellow thing on them, and it reminds me of yellow snow. Or I guess for that reason alone, I put him so high up, even though his super is really, really bad. Gladiator Colette was made by a pedophile, which is something you can think about. Her design is alright, but what's cool is the little pieces of artwork she has in her scrapbook shield of Piper and Spike as Roman statues. When her attack hits a target, it leaves behind this sword effect in a big heart, which I can't lie is super tough. Her super trails behind these little hearts with weapons, but could be better. Fancy artist out of 10. Moon Driller Mo is like Mo from the future because he drills on the moon, and rats can't go there yet, so it's in the future. He gets this sick driller, which is all geometric and futuristic. It even has the flag of Belarus on the side of it for some reason. Unfortunately, in-game, it's kind of hard to notice any of this because he's so dang small. Even in his driller form, you might think it's just normal Mo, but it definitely makes up for these shortcomings with the effects. The stones are glowy and vibrant, and his super trails this awesome hex pattern like Merge Tactics. Chicken Rico is what Egg Rico should be. He's got a cute design, actual eggs in his tummy, and from the side, a stare that knows the sins you've made. Assuming Chicken Rico is the mother, I think it's fun that he shoots off his babies as they splatter into sunny side up eggs, and how he uses his kids as ammunition for his super. This is the kind of stuff that I like to see, Supercell. Keep it up. Okay, this actually makes me so upset. On release, Ash Boy used to be called Be Less Ash, which was a knock on BMO from Adventure Time, you know, because BMO was supposed to be more. It was cute and was a great nod to a great show, but for some reason they changed it out of nowhere. Ash Boy is so much lamer. Sure, it's a Game Boy reference, but we have enough Nintendo references in this mobile game. In any case, his attacks are fun to look at and his rats leave behind a huge glitch effect. It's cool, but man, they screwed him over. Marshall Ruffs is a pretty lame skin on the surface, I can't lie. There's not much detail on his uniform, but he's just a little deputy boy trying to do his job. Probably making like minimum wage. His attack makes him throw out these sheriff badges that spin on their way, which I think look great in game, are a really fun change to the laser blast that he usually has. While his super is nothing all that special, just a star that lands on the ground, it's got some sauce for a pretty sauceless brawler. Evil Queen Pam is our second legendary skin so far. Woohoo! I think this is one of the first legendary skins added to Brawl Stars, and it definitely shows. To be fair, she does get an awesome dragon gun and she gives evil stepmother vibes, but it feels like a mythic skin at most for today's standards. Her shots are nothing special and the kill effect is hardly noticeable when she's spraying bullets. It's still a good skin, just not worth the price at all. V8-Bit is criminally underrated. He turns into a gas pump, which if you flip him around and yank his pants down, you can see this number slowly go up, and once it hits 999, it goes back down to 0. Yes, I wasted my time looking at this. While this counter doesn't change in game, the rest of him is heat. He shoots out gas with his attacks, and his super is this retro pulsing radius, and hey, it's pretty realistic too. If you shoot gas at someone, they might also die. Catburger Jessie is a cat, so it's automatically good. It gets the same sound effect as Tanuki Jessie too, which, I mean, just listen. Whoa, it's so nice. I think she looks a bit goofy in game, but her turret is actually adorable. It even wags its tail. Definitely not my favorite Jessie skin ever. I think the effects are a bit lacking, but the overall theme of it is very good. Wizard Byron and Byron the White are fine. I wish there was a bit more going on, but they're alright. He definitely looks like a wizard, or maybe a Clash of Clan member, but the actual in-game effects are not all that wizardy enough. I think, at least compared to other Byron skins at the same price, the wizards look the most like basic its effects. Not that they're inherently bad, just a bit lacking for such a skin. Coney Max is not everyone's favorite since it just makes Max look big and more white. I love the chibi style it has. She's big and very cuddly. When looking at what she has to offer in game, it has a bunch of cute effects like the other Brown and Friends skins do, which might not be everyone's favorite, but I sure do enjoy them. Give me a skin that makes a brawler look cuter and I will be all for it. I don't know if this was intentional or not, but he slightly looks like Denji from Chainsaw Man, which would be an insane connection if it was. To be fair, the actual skin isn't my favorite, but I really like the effects he has. His attack shoots off chainsaws, of course, and the super is also a chainsaw. Of course, I mean, come on, man. That's kind of tough. I don't know what Spore Mine Cordelius is supposed to be, but I'm all for it. The pink and green surprisingly work pretty well together, and my favorite detail is how when you shake him around, it looks like the mushroom in his head is being rattled around. Each attack shoots off these COVID-19 viruses, and his super throws the Big Bang Theory at them. Pretty cool, but also kind of basic. Popcorn Rico was one of the OG Rico skins, and in some ways, you can kind of see it. Unlike most epic skins released nowadays, there's not really a reason this skin should exist, but I'm not too upset that it does. Rico turns from an ugly-eyed robot with balls in him to an ugly-eyed robot with popcorn in him. For his attack and super, he shoots popcorn. I mean, of course he does. I remember when Bellhop Mike came out, I was really confused because I didn't know what a bellhop was. Then when I entered Spanish 1 in high school, bellhop was one of the words and I knew what it was because of Brawl Stars. Moral of the story, keep playing Brawl Stars. Anyway, Bellhop Mike, he's got a boring design. I mean, when you think of cool skins, you don't think of an old man with suitcases. His attack and super are what you expect, just more suitcases. Like, buddy, Mr. P already does that, you're not unique. Omega Box Daryl is what Mega Box Daryl wishes he was. Even though not a soul cares about Omega Boxes, this skin is kinda clean. He shoots off these little gems and blue crystals while his super crystallizes him and glows like Janet. I think he really nails the shiny, prestigious theming, but it would be so much cooler if this skin was on the Mega Box. Or a Brawl Box. That would be something. Swaymaster Barley got some real moves, I can't lie. Look at him do that little jab and stuff. I wouldn't mess with him. Not today. I could take him though. His attack and super are actually kinda peak. They splash into this video gamey pixel effect, but spawn Squid Game symbols on the ground. There's triangle, square, circle, and X. Wait! Swaymaster Barley kind of looks like Captain Park. Oh my god. Swaymaster Barley predicted Squid Game. Okay. Explosion Tick is, it's something alright. His hands become salt and pepper shakers, but his head is truly quite disturbing. It's a cracked open egg with a spoon inside that's slowly turning every second. His brain is getting stirred around in real time, slowly sloshing around the contents of his head. I get he's a robot, but that's still kind of freaky. It's just a rare skin, so there's no extra effects, but his head does become the egg head itself. Barbarian King Bull is obviously supposed to be representing the Barbarian King from Clash Mini, and I see the resemblance very well. I especially love how you can see his bulging muscles so clearly. But anyways, his attack shoots out these little bullets, and he gets pissed off whenever he attacks. Not super noticeable, but a nice touch. I do really like how his super makes him actually charge forward with his sword shotgun in the air like he's charging into battle. This makes him look that much more menacing when he's charging at you, even though he's just Bull and he'll probably die super fast. Captain Crow is clearly based on Captain Falcon, which automatically gives it some free points. He looks pretty decent in this outfit. It feels a little bit dated, but isn't all that bad. I like how his new blades are these spinning shuriken things, but it's only for his attack, and his super stays exactly the same for some reason. Doll Jessie might be weirdly high to some of you, but I think this is the pinnacle of rare skins. This completely changes Jessie into this patchwork doll, and Scrappy looks adorable. While she doesn't get any new effects in game, I love her new design. You can't look at Scrappy and not love him. Be so for real. Did you know in Pizza Oven Ash's skin, the pizza slice on his box doesn't connect to the rest of the pizza? Just a little fun fact for you. Pizza Oven Ash is just a pizza oven at the end of the day, so there's not much you can really say, good or bad. If you are also a pizza oven, comment down below. If there's more of you, I do want to know. I really enjoy how his rats become tiny little pizza slices. That's just something else. S tier Ash rat, in my opinion. Santa Mike for a super rare is good value. It's definitely a bit outdated in this day and age, but you can't go wrong with it. Just like Sugar Bomb Mike, he throws candy canes and his Santa bag. Just this time, he actually looks half decent. If they were to remake the skin, I would give him a giant fluffy Santa jacket and maybe the star drop face on a star. You know, just a little bit more sauce to it. Wasp bow was originally far lower, but after actually playing with the skin for a while, I came to realize that this skin is actually really good. He's definitely a lot less detailed than modern skins, but that kind of adds to its charm. His attacks and supers leave behind some honey, which at first confused me, but after asking Google AI, I found out that wasps steal honey from bees, so it actually adds to the aura of Wasp bow. I think the honey effects could be a bit more pronounced, but at the end of the day, I can't complain too much. When Magma Mandy was first announced, I was actually so hyped. Just look at her. She looks so cool. Or hot. Because she's magma. But after actually seeing her in game, it was, well, underwhelming to say the least. Don't get me wrong, she looks really good in that fit. The drippy cheese, the black fit, it all looks so good. But just look at this. Like, what am I looking at? That's so lame. LDU Quito Mike, Flamingo Mike, and Chivas Mike are all together. You might be wondering why they're so high up. They're just stupid soccer skins. Well, look at their rarity. For a rare skin, you're getting a custom animation, a custom model, effects, and texture. This is what you get for an epic skin put into a rare skin. Sure, they're not the best skins out there, but the value is through the roof. Give me those paws. Firefly Rico is the freakiest skin, at least to me. Someone who hates bugs. I don't know, man. There's just something about those little fireflies that freak me out. It reminds me of these buzzy bees arcade machine from Chuck E. Cheese. If you know, you know. That always scared me. For a super rare skin, it really transforms Rico into something completely different, which I admire in a skin. No super cool effects, but it's good enough. Sunflower Rosa is very biased, but she is the embodiment of Crazy Dave from Plants vs. Zombies if he was in Brawl Stars, and also if he was a black woman. I mean, the similarities are there, right? The white shirt, blue pants, brown hair, the sunflower on her back. Come on. This is Crazy Dave. You can't change my mind. Edgar Tata is Crying Man's favorite Edgar skin, and I can see why. He represents everything that an Edgar main isn't. Love and hearts, and for that reason alone, he is cool. When jumping, he leaves behind a heart, and every attack gives the enemy some love. Other than that, not much changes. Furious Fang is the normal version of Ferocious Fang, which is 10 times better than him. I think the colors work super well together. I mean, it's so prestigious. The white and gold with the red spotted around him looks so good. It's one of those skins that would be the base model in another universe. While the effects aren't the craziest out there, I mean, come on, it's Fang, they're clean. And that's the kind of thing we need once in a while. Maple Barley is actually the perfect definition of a Canadian. Aerith, is this you? Big ass orange beard, plaid lumberjack core jacket, boots, and a big jar of maple syrup. If this isn't a Canadian, then I'm not Muyo, and I am. Excusing all the stereotypes, I really like the effect that the skin gets when a bottle lands. It's very different from everything else since it's orange and kind of reminds me of a pile of leaves. Maybe because there are leaves in it. I'm sure Supercell was thinking of this when making Lion Bull, but this is literally just the scaredy lion or whatever his name was from The Wizard of Oz. Like, there's no way it's not. He looks just like him. Sort of. Oh, and those green eyes? They cannot be a coincidence. As a skin, he shoots off teeth, and I mean, his super is just a normal boost super. Lockpick Kit has to be referencing Morgana from Persona, but you know, I could always be wrong. I like how he has a keyhole on top of his head, which makes me wonder, what if you put a key in there? You never know. I think even though Kit doesn't have any real sauce to his effects, Lockpick Kit does a decent job at overcoming that. He slashes with a key that actually randomly switches between swiping left to right. Whenever he hits someone, it drops the lock as well. Talk about detail. I wish Melody locked me up like that. Periscope Pearl is a very silly skin, but the fish is what makes this so good. Like, just look at him. He's evil, but he's stuck in there. There's nowhere to go, buddy. I think in game she has some really nice water effects. They don't have the same splash as Summer Jessie or Beach Brock do, but you don't always need that. It's got more of a bubble vibe to it, and her super is like a splash. The other water skins are like whirlpools. My favorite detail though has to be when she's at full heat, she starts pumping out bubbles from the top of her. That's pretty cool. Superfan M's is like Sugar Rush Sandy, but better because she has that many more references. Do you want to hear them all? No, I'm good. I'm good. Tick on her hat, Poke Wonder phone, Carl Pickaxe earrings, Piper dress, Jessie spray, Apex crossbody, Spike socks, Poco clip on, and Sunflower Rosa on her neck, which isn't a direct reference to those made before she was created, but I'll take it. Yeah, quite the skin. Her effects or whatever, who cares? I just like all the stuff going on. Snowman Tick is just a little snowy guy. He's doing his little dance with snow on his hands and is sure to be toasty with his scarf. Actually adorable. For his attack and super, he throws little snow bombs with his face on them, which is actually also also adorable. They burst his white substance all over the enemy, which is actually adorable. Galaxy Storm Lola is a skin that a lot of people hate, but I actually don't mind. Sure, her scarf looks a bit goofy, but her fit is on point, and she gets some really nice attack effects. Just look at this. You can't tell me these electric, bright, neon green projectiles aren't clean. Of course, as per usual, her super isn't anything special, but I feel like these are some of the most impactful Lola attacks there is. Maybe. I forget what I put above her. She may need to get some custom sounds, which is good for an epic skin to have. Even better is that Bruce is adorable as a Shiba. If I had a Shiba, I would absolutely love this skin, but since I don't, and since Nita doesn't get any new attack effects, it can't be all that high. So don't get me wrong, it's adorable. I just would like a bit more going on. Oh my god, is that the log from Clash Royale? Is that 2 elixir? I'm going to log bait into the skin. Haha, log bait 2.6 cycle. Haha, log bait 2.6 Clash Royale. Merge tactics, hog cycle. Log bait, log 2 elixir log. Shut up! Logmas Spike throws cut up logs at the enemy. Where you get those logs? We'll never know. His super has your bog standard Christmas effects. Unfortunately, nothing log themed. Nutcracker Gale never was one of my favorite skins. I have no connection to the Nutcracker, just the one on my face. But after playing with this skin for longer, I quickly realized that I wasn't missing much. His projectiles are kind of small and don't pack the punch I'm looking for, and his super has the same problems. Silly skin overall, but could be improved. Surge Lightyear should not be a legendary skin, bro. This is like mythic quality at the most. They're really milking the Toy Story theme for all it's worth, aren't they? Now, okay, he does look like Buzz Lightyear. Kinda. I'll give him that. His attacks, yes, they are fairly good looking, but his kill effects feel like a copy paste from the mecha skins, just a little bit worse. He just doesn't get nearly enough to warrant a legendary skin. Like, come on. He doesn't even get custom voice lines. And like, what, half of the other legendary skins have those? Like, that's dumb. That's dumb. Super scam. I'm not sure what kind of guard Rico is, but this skin looks pretty fire. He's big and fat and green, and while the yellow accents look nice, his lamp reminds me of Jean's lamp as it circles around him in his animation. He shoots off these glowing balls with his mane, and his super shoots yellow sparkly scarabs. It's not the coolest thing ever, but it's not the worst. Did you know he also gets a custom voice line? I never knew that. Hanbo Mandy is dressed in some traditional Korean outfit, which looks super cute on her, and looks pretty accurate to a real Hanbo. Her attack and super are really nothing all that special, but since this skin is cute and has to do with my culture, I think it has to be somewhat high. Not too high though, I don't care all that much. Born Bad Buzz is so goofy, bro. The ginormous glasses on him and his dog are amazing. To the mohawk, plaid pants, it's also good. Whoever thought to give Buzz a pit bull is actually amazing, and he even throws the dog when he supers. I think other than that, the attack is cool, but a little bit lackluster. It's weird. I really like this skin, but I don't like it enough to put it higher than this, you know? World Champion Gus is basically Zeta Division Gus. It could have been Tribe Gimmick Gus, but look where we are. Excusing any personal bias, this skin is pretty fire. The Zeta colors look really good on a skin, and Gus was the perfect brawler for this. He shoots the basic pixel shots, which is kind of disappointing, but the ghost also changed, which is a really nice change. Unfortunately, for an epic skin, his shield doesn't change at all, which for a skin at this price point should be expected. Beach Brock is only a super rare skin, and it has one of the best Brock effects in the entire game. Like, check that out. When his attack lands, the little flame turns into a small whirlpool, which looks absolutely amazing. I don't know if it's just me, but this feels like so strong, you know? Otherwise, he gets a pretty alright model. No new animations, unfortunately, but I feel the effects hardcore carry the rest of the skin. What can I say? I like when they're wet. Underworld Bow, if I recall correctly, is one of, if not the first demon skins added to the game. Nowadays, there's like 50, but this was the OG, and it's hard to go wrong with it. Bro's got scoliosis, and if my back was that bad, I would hate everyone too. I never noticed this before, but his attacks leave behind this skull mark on the ground, which is kind of neat, and his super are these skull candles. While these aren't the most exciting things ever, this skin excites me. Lawless Lola always confused me. How did she get those tan marks? The mask I understand, but the ones on her arm are another story. Besides that, she looks really good with the black and red, like really good. I can't say the same for projectiles, but she... oh man, she looks really good. Ghost Squeak is actually so adorable. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the translucency as Squeak should, but he becomes something even better. Milk. Milk Squeak has cute little fangs poking out and a little wispy thing on top. His attacks and super shoot little spooky ghosts that wave around and look absolutely adorable. Ghost Squeak may not be the most advanced skin out there, but he is competition for the cutest. Mr. Overlord Byron is so swaggy. He really looks like a villain out of a crappy 2000s Nickelodeon show, and I'm all for it. He got a little jellyfish stored in his staff and backpack, which is adorable, like those cat backpacks, but for a jellyfish. His attack and super isn't anything too special. They're just green. Rough Seas 2 is quite incredible for a super rare skin. He becomes black and looks so prestigious now. He even gets a new attack and super, which are sandy, while shooting off these things. I don't know what they are. There's nothing I can complain about when it comes to the skin. Ruffs is a pretty difficult brawler to make look super interesting in game, and I feel they did a pretty good job at it. Detective Gray and Detective Gray Noir Edition are more super rare skins which perfectly fit his aesthetic. I can imagine him in a black and white detective film, uncovering mysteries and whatever else they do. His attacks look as if he's shooting a single shot from a pistol, and of course his super is a magnifying glass. It's a very simple skin, but it fits so well for Gray. I can't see a detective working on any other brawler but him. Phantom Poco is really amazing. The ghost on the rim of his hat and his guitar are super cute. I want stickers of these little guys so bad. Sure, he doesn't get any new effects or anything since he's rare, but come on, this guy looks so clean. I remember when Dark Clown Sam released, everyone freaked out because he was such a good value for a super rare skin, which he is, but nowadays skins have gotten so good that it got a bit outclassed. It doesn't mean that the skin is bad, it's great. The head turn is super freaky and he looks like he would dominate me in the bedroom. If only. But anyways, the attack and super look very clean, especially when shooting the knuckles out and calling them back. I can see Tropical Sprout finally going to Kuantan, building a house on an empty beach. The books he brought but never read have piled up like a mountain. He'll read them slowly as if he's retrieving the time lost. He's tired, really tired. He'll feel like he's done enough. He would say something like, Burger Lou, he is a burger. I love burgers, so I love Burger Lou. His fit reminds me of Good Burger, and that's probably what they were going off of with the hat and outfit. I like how his shots are bags of fries and they drop fries. You know, that's what they would drop. While his super is just a bunch of condiments with burger ingredients spiraling around. I love Burger Lou. Jolly Janet is like Little Helper Penny, but so much better. She looks like an elf fairy, or like she's about to go to a Christmas party. Each attack she shoots off are a bunch of music notes and a few clefs for some reason, and the super drops circles that outline a Christmas tree. If you love Christmas, then this is the skin for you. Blue Pitcher Fang and Red Pitcher Fang wouldn't score this high for me personally, but I had to be somewhat objective in my rankings, at least a little. Both of these skins are baseball flavored, and what makes them so good is the references scattered about. The F on his hat kind of looks like the D from the Deuce and Bears, which at the time recently did a collab with Supercell. His super also drops a baseball bat when he dashes, which simulates throwing it down then moving from base to base. Even better is when hitting an enemy, it throws a base down, which is actually so genius since he can dash up to 4 enemies, like the 4 bases in baseball. While this isn't my favorite skin ever, the little things really make it special. Coco Rosa looks so groovy. She's such a vibe. I love how her potted palm tree even dances along with her. I mean, out of every dancing skin there is, she has the best moves. In a real game, Rosa punches coconuts, which look kind of freaky, but her super turns her into a palm tree, which must count as something, right? Ever notice how El Primo doesn't have nipples, but Surge Kong does? Something to think about. My favorite part about this skin is when he spits out the banana, then squeezes it and it gets larger. If only Surge was real. For a super rare, he actually gets some decent effects. He shoots off little land masses and jumps on the city for his super, and my favorite part though has to be the little helicopters circling around him. That's such a small detail but really sells the massiveness of him. Hosto Brock is such a random skin, but it's such a good one too. Having his rocket launcher be inside of the box is really smart, and he actually rocks this outfit pretty well. Each rocket that he shoots out is covered in a box as well, which makes it like a fun little surprise for the enemy that includes paper and peanuts. Loopy Lola looks incredibly goofy, but I kinda dig it. The wild colors that don't work at all adds to its charm, and the silly little bob cut sock puppet is cute, I think. I really just like how the skin is so different from every other Lola skin out there. If you never played Brawl Stars for a while, you might not even realize that this is Lola. Her attack shoots out buttons which do turn in the air, a nice detail, but the star of the show is this little puppet thing when she supers. She's so happy. El Corazon can hit me with some of his love, if you know what I mean. Do you know what I mean? I really like this skin because hitting enemies marks them with a heart each time they're hit, which is a small but really nice little thing to have. Nothing else notable really happens. I just like that. I'm a fan of Fang. No, I'm a fan of the Fang's the fan's Fang. I'm a fan of the fan's Fang. He looks pretty good in the blue, playing on his little Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, though it's very important to know that he's not really playing anything on his phone. That's right, it's blank! Excusing that, he has some pretty basic attacks and supers. It's just the decent looking pixel effect that they give to pretty much every other skin. Demon Otis is one of the weaker demon skins visually. I don't know, he just looks sort of naked. I don't know, I still think he has some cool ideas to it. The armor instead of his spout is really sick, and I do think the skin looks far better in a real match than in the lobby. Still even looks evil. Look at him. What a guy. L Brown, like Coney Max, is just a bigger, cuddlier version of the counterpart. L Brown, though, definitely takes the cake for the cuddliest, at least compared to Coney Max. Like, just look at him. Compared to the other Brown and Friends skins, I think his attack looks pretty good as well. The sweat droplets really make it feel like he's punching, and the little when he supers is just incredible. It's a very subtle skin, but it does it so well. Sultan Carl is one of the more creative Carl skins. Having him ride around on a little carpet is fun, and the giant turban works so well to replace his helmet. In game, I think his attacks could be a bit sandier since it basically is just the moon that he carries around, but his super really feels sandy. It's like he's the sandstorm and he's tearing through whoever's in his way. This is sand done right in a skin. Take note, Supercell. Big Cell Barley eats in the pink dress. You cannot tell me she doesn't absolutely slay here. Hand on hip, she about to tell you what's up, and she does by throwing her cream pies at you. Her cream pies look really nice when they splatter on the ground since the pie pan and all the insides sit there. Big Cell Barley is my favorite woman ever. Bunny Grom hops on that egg like I do. Sorry, that might have been too personal. Grom becomes a big pink bunny with explosive eggs, which is very fitting for the man who hates children. The attack and super are as you expect, just big eggs that crack at the impact points. For a super rare skin, he changes so drastically, I don't mind how simple it is. Dragooner Belle is so sick. You cannot tell me she doesn't look great with the purple color scheme and the frank-ass skin color. This Belle skin definitely has one of the best guns too, looking like the kaiju from that kaiju mode. Of course, her attacks and supers also turn purple, and while simple, this emits so much aura. Also, her gun chomps when firing. I think that's a cool thing. I think that's cool. Crimson RT used to be really good when he had that glitch that let him attack using both attacks, but now he's scraped down to just the average skin. It's quite a shame, but hey, average doesn't mean bad. Unless your name is Lashana. Gosh. RT now looks like a big, fat, evil mastermind, and I love that for him. While his attacks look good, I feel they're a bit fast, a bit choppy. I don't know if that's just me, but they still look very good. SpongeBob El Primo is quite the debatable pick for this spot, but I feel like it's justified. Who asked for the stupid SpongeBob movie looking SpongeBob? We want SquarePants. That's literally the icon of the show, and we get Buff Bob Fart Pants. Either way, it's fine for what it is. The jellyfish net is fine, and the cheeks look fine. For a Primo skin, this is pretty alright. Punching bubbles and landing with a rainbow, it's just a bit disappointing. SpongeBob Ash would have been so much better than this. Director Buzz and filmmaker Buzz are exactly what I would expect a director to be like. Short, stubby, and loud. Each attack shoots off a clapperboard. Yes, I had to look up the name of it. And the super looks so sick, firing a massive film reel at the enemy. Very silly skin, especially how his hat flies up when attacking. Count Pangula is far above the other Mr. P skins because he just fits his vampire role so well here. He throws coffins, sure, whatever, but these coffins explode with this sick little dark effect that emits bats at the landing spots. Even better is that his porters come out of the coffin and it actually flips open and closed when they come out. That's so cool. They also have wings, which is cute. Cobra Lola is pretty damn ugly. Okay, I'll just say it now. She's ugly. I've never liked the purple skins on skins all that much, and the green just looks weird with it, but the effects in game are actually so good. It completely makes up for the model. She shoots these little wavy snakes that are so mesmerizing to look at, and throwing her super also throws a little snake, but they somehow nailed the look of a snake being thrown. That's cool. Wow. Octofang is currently the only super rare Fang skin, so he can't really be all that picky here, but he gets this new streetwear look to him, with the only octopus thing about him being these little suckers on his feet and shoulder. He could have been crunching on something like some octopus instead of the popcorn, but that might have been a bit too much. His attack and super for some reason get this paint effect instead of something, well, octopus themed. It's an interesting choice, but it looks good. Buccaneer Barley is what I want to be when I grew up. Bald and an alcoholic and a robot. And Barley. He looks cool. The pirate fit looks so cool, and these more natural colors look really nice together. His attack inside of the game is also pretty nice. I don't think it's nearly as good as someone like Big Cell Barley's attack, but the one singular little tentacle that pops out is a nice touch. El Rey Primo is definitely the Primo skin that I run the most. He looks so royal and muscular with this fit. I might just be in love. I find this interesting, but when punching, you can see this emerald ring, which means that he only punches with his left hand. It's weird enough that he only uses one hand, but the left, I wouldn't expect that. His super looks really lame when it lands, but hey, it's El Rey Primo, you can't hate this skin. Gift Express Jackie is like Cobra Lola. She looks ugly, but the effects are really good. Like, okay, it's not that bad. It just looks like she's wearing the pajama day fit. Don't even get me started as to what this thing is. But to the effects, they're clean. Each attack is a giant puff of snow that bursts around her, along with a snowflake pattern below. Her super is almost as cool, with Christmas lights dancing around the radius. This is actually so good, especially since this is a super rare skin. Man of War Dog is one of my favorite pirate skins when solely looking at their base model, but that's not saying much because I have like 3 other pirate skins above this one. But hey, I can't forget to mention that he's a clear reference to Whitebeard from One Piece. Like, just look at that mustache. But I can't help but hate his main attack. I know it's just me who feels this, but each attack he randomly drops some skulls or gold on the ground, but they stand out so much and it's so distracting and it really makes me upset. Put them all in the same spots or nowhere at all. His super is a sword, which is cool, I think. Haunted House 8-bit is really just a walking house. He's literally just a house. You can't make this up anymore. Though, if you want it to be a house, this is a pretty good house to be. You've got windows, doors, and a mailbox. Everything you would want for a home. The birds are kind of silly too. His attack shoots these little ghosts for some reason, and his super also has them surrounding a bird's nest. There must be some sort of reference here that I'm not getting. Right? Aura's bow is literally the definition of aura farming. You can't tell me he isn't mocking in the mirror every morning, but I mean, if I looked like him, I would too. His attacks get Zeus Brock level of effects, which are incredibly cool, but his super is unfortunately really lacking. I would love a little lightning bolt or smoke or anything in that explosion, though that's minor compared to everything else you get from the skin that, keep in mind, is only epic. Kaiju Quincy might look super ugly to some of you, but I think he's kinda charming. Not in a cute way, but he does look like some sort of monster and plays it well. His attack switches between a few colors, green, blue, and purple, and they all look fairly cool. It's just a shame though that his super doesn't change these at all and just sprays a bunch of these same shots. Shadow Knight Jessie and Dragon Knight Jessie's model feel a little dated, at least compared to all the other skins in the game, but that doesn't mean it did not cook. She gets a brand new flame sound when she shoots off her flaming bullets, and since they bounce, you really get to appreciate them for longer. They both look pretty cool, but Shadow Knights look a bit better. Each turret is a dragon for their respective color who each shoot these flaming bullets. They're very safe, very solid skins, and definitely worth the price. Double thumbs up, because there's 2 of them. Cupid Boat looks so happy being a Cupid. He definitely loves his job, but man, I don't know. I just love these skins where these big, burly men dress up in pink. It really flips gender narratives on its head and is great to see. Anyways, his attacks and supers blow up into these big heart clouds, which look amazing, and I love when a skin sticks to its theming, and Cupid Bow is definitely no exception. Misfortune Tara is so cool. Another gambler. I'm so happy. The white looks really nice and complements the blue very well, but don't get me started on the in-game effects. I love how they made the cards white as well, and that Trail of Cards 2 is actually so good. Her super is nothing special, but the skin feels substantial. There's actual sauce to it. Stonk Spam is the embodiment of Supercell. They want their money. The graph on the back of her even shows Clash Royale sales after not listening to the community. So many references packed into one. Looking at the skin in game, she definitely has some of the best attacks. The green arrows really feel fun to use and actually fit really well since Pam is a healer. I do wish her super was like a red circle like a Mr. Beast video though. Balloon Sally is cute. I think it's a very different model to most other skins, but it's got some charm to it. I will say it's one of the buggiest skins in the game. Like, look at this fool. Shooting any attack looks like it takes off 15% of the screen. At the very least, the ghosts are adorably angry and the shield is a cute bear bubble. If you want a cute skin, this is one of the cutest. Glitch Larry Lori is like Larry and Lori but glitched out, and I think that's cool. I love glitches. Lori looks so dark and brooding. Oh my goodness, that's the coolest thing ever. But to be so real, usually the glitch effect looks kinda lame, but it looks kinda clean on here, you can't even lie. It's just that the concept itself is a bit overdone by now. Fangirl Coney is the cutest Brown and Friends skin. I mean, just look at that face. She's so happy to be here. She also has one of the best attacks, throwing a bear that falls over when her attack hits nothing. When it hits an enemy, a little bear outline spawns and her super is just her face, but bigger. It's all so cute, nothing else to say. Bubblegum BB is probably the last rare skin that you'll see on this list, and this is probably the most biased entry so far. Ever since this was released, I knew this would be the BB skin of all time, and it is. I love the dichotomy of normal BB being this emo tough girl contrasted to this bright bubbly skin. It's the Melody to the Karomi, the Wednesday to the Adams. I don't know. I never watched it. Nez Plays doesn't like Zombibi, but I think he is wrong. I think this is a pretty strong BB skin, especially for a super rare. She really looks like a zombie. First off, looking at you, Zombrock. Second, while her attack is a bit lackluster, her super is so sick. I mean, you can't tell me this weird ghost thing with his hands isn't raw. Imagine this thing chasing you down a hallway, bro. You would be terrified. Belle Goldhand is another one of the better base model skins. The white and black with the red and gold accents are amazing together, and the giant golden sniper is so badass. Belle was already a badass, but this turns it up to like 50 out of at least 50. Her attacks are basically just golden bullets and a golden marker, but again, it's very simple, but it's so effective. You can call me stupid all you like, but I never once made the connection that Calavera Piper was supposed to look like Poco. Like what? Yellow skin, eye markings, black dress, eyes, hearts between the eyes? Please let me know down below if you never noticed this too. I cannot be the only one. Anyways, it's a decent skin all around. The attack and super isn't anything all that crazy. I like the rose that appears upon landing a shot. I think that's very nice. Viking Bull used to be hot buns, but Supercell one day decided to remake it and they absolutely cooked. He actually looks like a Viking and really sells the deal. The axe shotgun is also pretty fire. For a super rare skin, he also gets some pretty great effects, shooting little hatchets and ramming into you with a helmet. All this applies to Norse Raider Bull 2, except he looks a little bit worse. Buzzette is overly hated because y'all are Republicans, but as they say, nothing brings people together more than Buzz in Brawl Stars. Nothing brings people together more than that. Than Buzz. I think she looks cute. The yo-yo is fun to look at and she's super colorful with her suspenders, hair, horns, everything. In game, she looks even better. I love how she slaps her tongue and candy falls out. This skin is low-key goated and y'all are sleeping on it. Meg skins are the type of skins that you just get so much value from. You get the little form, the big form, all of these projectiles, and a big swipe. Other than Chester, you're getting a ton of value from these kind of skins. Beetle Meg is, of course, no exception. I don't see how she's supposed to represent a Volkswagen Beetle, but go off, I guess. Each attack is like a little beetle claw, which alone is lame, but when there's like 15 of them together, they look really intimidating. Mecha Bow is our first mecha skin on this list. Let's go! Give it up for Mecha Bow. Ooh. Yeah. Okay, so Orange Mecha Bow is so trash. I'm not grouping the others with it because this specific variation is noticeably worse. Why would I want this fool in orange? For 300 gems, Mecha Bow doesn't really compare to mythic or even epic skins Bow could use. The kill effect is pretty clean and the new voice effects are fine, but the actual core of the skin is not as good as other skins, and not even the other mecha skins, and they do these things far better. But hey, at least Light Mecha Bow and Gold Mecha Bow look pretty nice. I don't know why they make recolor so ugly, but Rainbow Nita is a victim of that. Yellow and red is an interesting choice, bro. I'll say that much. But I can't lie, the effects in Super are clean. Her attacks are massive, they burst into a pile of snow and feel super impactful. You know I love good effects, and Rainbow Nita has them, despite looking kinda silly. Loaded Rico is the sovereign Rico for poor people. Let's be so for real here. In the big 25, he gets very outclassed, but still is fine in its own right. The gold color looks good on him and he definitely is royal, but I just wouldn't go out of my way to buy this with gems. The attack in Super, like most Rico skins, is kinda lame, but in game, his model does look sick with the cape. Galactic Gale is surprisingly only a rare skin, and you would probably never guess by looking at it. I mean, he's got a new model, new textures, even an animation on the back of him. Unfortunately, he doesn't get any special effects or anything, but when you walk, his head jiggles around. How cool is that? My absolute favorite thing has to be this janky looking patch on his arm. Like, what even is that? Evil Gene is so evil. I'm so scared. Oh, please hold me, BB or Melody or Allie or Shelly or Rosa or Jackie or Piper or Pam or Belle or Colette or Mandy or Lola or Maisie or Pearl or Ashrat 3 or Ashrat 4 or Max or Eve or Trunk or Willow or Charlie or Clancy or Lily or Juju or Amber or Kaze. I'm so scared. I think this is the only red skin that isn't a demon, which is kind of interesting. I really like Evil Gene because he's so simple. He's just evil, nothing more, nothing less. Quit playing Poco and all of the other good random skins actually sync up with each other. Like, that's so cool. He's got that K-pop hairstyle and fit, which actually look kind of fire. And as we know, Poco gets some good effects. And just look at these. That's sick. I mean, it is the pixel stuff again, but it's so large that I can excuse it. Red White Melody and Red White Melody both have this really crazy design to them. I don't know what's going on, but I kind of mess with it. Every feature feels very exaggerated and pronounced, which is fitting for someone who's performing up on a stage. I do really like the red white version, and I think it looks a bit better than the normal, but they're both pretty cool. In game, the notes turn into this conjoined star kind of thing. I don't know what it is, but the bigger the better, I guess. haven't heard that one before. Major Rosa is a major improvement. Normally, Rosa punches feel kind of choppy, kind of unfinished, and that's definitely present here in this skin as well. But when she hits an enemy, they get marked with this Squid Game X, which I feel bumps this skin up just a little bit. Her super is just the normal one, except it's pixelated, and while this isn't anything revolutionary, it's very simple, but pretty effective. Harpy Melody is the furry femboy skin that we need. While I'm not a furry, I do think this is one of Melody's best skins. The colors on her look really nice, and the whole bird aesthetic just works. I like how she shoots out birds, how she is a bird, how birds circle around her, and how she dashes with bird wings, how the birds die when the nukes expire. It's also bird. Is it just me, or is Manta Rosa always on sale? I see this for 39 gems in the shop far too often. It's like they want to get rid of the skin, or maybe they want more people to see how good the skin actually is. Her punches leave scratches on the ground, which I always love to see, and this definitely has one of the best looking Rosa supers in the game. You can't tell me that's not tough. Charcoal Frank, Mummified Frank, and Papyrus Frank are up next. All Brawl Pass skins and all emit tons of aura. I think Frank has some pretty great skins already, so these are just the worst of the best, if you know what I mean. Each variation has these different color flame particles coming off his body, which is a very nice touch. There's even a story on the hammer showing a thief getting murked. I don't think the attacks or supers are anything all that special, especially for a Frank skin, but I do really enjoy seeing the flames come up from his head in game. Reindeer Bonnie is as you'd expect, a reindeer and a pretty adorable representation of one at that. Her cannon form shoots off a big bell, which isn't anything all that special, but upon landing with her super, a giant puff of smoke and confetti and snow all come out that look amazing. When in her little form, she even throws these Christmas lights. There's so much going on in this one skin, you love to see it. Bonnie skins are always such good value. Harajuku Ems is based off Wednesday Addams and was created when her silly little dance was trending. Despite being incredibly outdated in that regard, the skin itself looks very nice. It gives off a certain gothy aesthetic which looks quite good, but when looking at her effects in game, oh my gosh, these are some of my favorite Ems attacks. They're so thick, so pronounced, so effective, and the super really makes it feel like she's in control of the battlefield. Tentacle Bonnie is a super rare skin, which is actually insane for what you get. First off, she rocks this Splatoon vibe, that's clear enough, but it really shows in game when you see her attacks, which are slimy and green like a big wet booger, and her super lands with a splatter of paint. This is 100% Splatoon core, and you cannot say otherwise. Bubble Trouble Amber's design is so amazing. She looks straight out of the 80s with the giant poofy hair and outfit too, and the roller skates, I guess. I don't think that the attacks are anything that special, nor is the super, but at the end of the day, that design is carrying the entire skin. Pinata Ash looks like player 149 in Season 3 of Squid Game Season 3. If you know, you know. This is one of the most creative skins in my opinion, and really doesn't fit Ash's personality, but I love it. He's just prancing along, looking so angry, looking like a My Little Pony. Of course, each attack leaves a trail of candy, and his rats turn into pieces of candy too. Super fitting. For the same reason I love Bubblegum BB is present here in this skin. Mega Beetle B, come on Supercell, what are you doing? Quit making skins based on cars that look nothing like them. First you made Beetle Meg, now Beetle B. Y'all are something else. Despite any weird decisions on their part, this skin is pretty cool. Each attack bites the enemy like chomp chomp chomp. Final Boss Rico was the first skin to have this cell shaded outline effect to it, and you know what? It's kinda cool. You can see where it breaks up a bit, but I feel that adds to its charm. He feels straight out of like Cuphead. I feel like his attacks and super are normal attacks, just like in Cuphead, but then his hypercharged ones are like the ones you can parry. You know what I mean? They're like purple or pink. It's definitely not intended that way, but I think that's a cool little detail. If they made his bullets have like a 5% chance to be pink, that would be so cool. I would have loved that detail. Possessed Poco is so tough, bro. This is the type of thing I'd get tattooed on my left cheek. The horns, the flames, the bones, bro. bro is more emo than Edgar. I will say his super effect is gnarly, but his attack is very lackluster. I would want it to be more flamey than it is now, especially for a mythic skin. Give me more than his base attack with some skull slapped on top. The Brown and Friends skins just keep one-upping each other. Rocket Brown is so good. Brock is a big cuddly bear who can bust a move. Look at this guy, he's so clean with it. Okay. For some reason, his attack shoots off little birds, which is nice, I guess, but with moves like him, you don't need anything else, do you? Marauder Maisie's gotta be one of those super forgotten skins, but it really shouldn't be. It's actually so fire. First, the colors are amazing. The greens and browns give it this natural vibe to it, and having that dark gradient under her goggles actually brings it all together so well. They've never done something like that before, except on this skin, and I'm so glad they did. She shoots off these little fists for her attack, which are fine, but the super is where the skin really shines. It's a giant puff of smoke that leaves behind a Brawl Stars logo on the ground, and if that's not clean, then I don't know what is. Now we have every true gold skin in the game. I wouldn't say these are bad, even if they're just golden versions of the base models. It shows you spent 35,000 gold on a brawler, which in this economy is quite a handful. This decision is really up to you, but here is every true gold skin ranked from worst to best, or in other words, most or lost to the best value. Starting with Eve, Lola, Otis, Spike, Edgar, Buzz, Miko, Colt, Jackie, Bo, Fang, Willow, Ruffs, Belle, Jean, Tara, Mandy, Dynamite, Lou, Ollie, Daryl, Coco, Bull, Lumi, Chester, Cordelius, Carl, Janet, B, Grom, Byron, Maisie, Barry, Max, Amber, Sprout, Griff, Colette, Gray, Sandy, Rosa, Gale, Rico, Lily, Allie, Gus, Ems, Shade, Piper, Buster, Primo, Crow, Barley, Angelo, Sam, Pearl, Frank, Melody, BB, Stu, Mina, Ziggy, Binks, Chuck, Kenji, Clancy, Shelly, Kit, Squeak, Doug, Hank, Meeple, Trunk, Draco, Brock, Mortis, Mo, Meg, Surge, RT, Kaze, Leon, Bonnie, Ash, Tick, Pam, 8-Bit, Juju, Penny, Jesse, Larry, Lori, Charlie, Nita, Nani, Mr. P, and finally, Jae Young. Pinku Paulette, Midori Paulette, and Kiro Paulette. I mean, come on, you saw it coming. Just look at her. It's Paulette for Hank's sake. Let's just move on. High score Griff might not be everyone's favorite, but this is actually such a clean skin. Sure, his head might look weird and out of place, but look at that nose jiggle and the little Bunny Invaders game he's playing. It's really good. Unlike the other Griff skins we saw earlier, his attack and super actually feels like they're doing some serious damage. The bunnies look sharp and the game cards are clean. Put me and high score Griff in a room together and one of us will be hitting a high score, I'll tell you that. Cupid Piper is simple. She has a classy white dress, some pink accents, and a lovely heart in her hair. Not every skin has to be as flashy as high score Griff, some can be Cupid Piper, and that's just alright. I gotta say though, her attack and hit animation look really nice. Orochi Edgar makes the other Edgar skins so far look super lame. Multicolored snakes was definitely the play, especially having them be these contrasting colors. As I said plenty of times before, Edgar doesn't have many effects he can really get, so making his base model something stand out really differentiates them, and this does just that since the snakes pop out and bite the enemy with each hit. Raider Cordelius has this Mad Max vibe to him, just brighter and not as brutal. He low-key just looks like a guy that's hanging out. You can't hate him. I do really like his attack since he fires these flaming screws, and his super is a giant bundle of more screws. Putrid Pam is actually so good for a super rare skin. She looks like me after getting in the by Pinku Paulette. The whole zombie aesthetic is so pronounced and does it so well. Each attack shoots off a random item, a skull, a bone with meat on it, a bone, an eye, or a brain, and the super has these ritual candles around it. I love what they did with everything here. I don't know why Brawl Stars YouTubers seem to love Summer Jessie. Connor Brawl Stars always glazes her. And Kairos once said that this was his favorite skin too. I don't know what the hype is, bruh. The skin is pretty decent. It's a pretty cute skin and the effects look very nice. You know how much I love powerful feeling attacks at this point, and when her attacks hit a target, you really feel it with the puddle it leaves. But I can't get over the fact that they like Summer Jessie? Summer Jessie? Rosie Charlie has a nice theme to it, but have you ever stopped to actually look at her arms? Why are they so long? I don't know if it's like this for every Charlie skin, but holy arms, bro. That's weird. Okay. I think excusing her extended limbs, the skin is pretty good. Not to mention her super, which traps the enemy inside of a rose. Very nice skin. Muyo approved. Sugar Plum Rosa has the cell shaded effect to it, and I feel like this looks far better than Final Boss Rico does. Maybe because it actually has cell shading on it. The skin is based on adventure Adventure Time, I think, so that's definitely something. She punches with these big stretchy donuts, and it even drops sprinkles. Her super is, you guessed it, another big stretchy donut. I like donuts, so it's a good skin. Leopard Max and Panther Max are perfect for Max. Panthers are fast, and Max is fast. Who thinks of these things? They're genius! Of course, she shoots claws at the enemy, but the real beauty of these skins shine in their supers, which are simply just a wind that blows some leaves around. You can't really ask for much more in a super rare skin. Shadow Mecha Leon and Mecha Leon are the second mechas thus far, and while this isn't a terrible mecha skin, I don't like Mecha Leon all that much. Hell, I don't really like mechas period, so that doesn't help its case at all, except for the couple that you see later in the list. His attack and super is pretty much what you'd expect for a mecha skin, but I do find it kind of interesting that he gets the glitch effect while in a super too. Not something you see on Leon skins usually. If you love Leon or mecha skins, then you might love it. If not, it's not for you. Phoenix Crow. These legendary skins are not getting out of B tier, are they? This used to be one of the most valuable skins in the entire game, but as more and more skins were added, it quickly got outclassed. The base model is pretty much just a super rare skin, and the effects are pretty okay. I like how they actually set the enemy on fire instead of poison, which makes sense and it's a good touch, but otherwise it's just yellow crow but with fire. Like what? Like that's legendary? Okay. Gunslinger Colt really got a handsome outfit on. He truly looks like a gunslinger. It's unfortunate though that his attacks and supers are so lame. What are these, bro? Weak ass bullets? They could have done so much better with this. It's truly a shame, but hey, he still looks cool, I guess. Jungle Queen Maisie really sells the Jungle Queen vibes in my honest, humble, rumble jungle opinion. I don't know what the furry things are on her ankles, but otherwise, she looks sick. Her super is what really makes her stand out though, as it's all green. Night Mecha Crow, Gold Mecha Crow, and Mecha Crow. They all have the same problems as Mecha Leon, just a little bit better because it's on Crow. The electric effects are pretty nice, and overall, it's just a clean skin, just not worth it as some of the other legendary skins or, you know, even epic. Dynasty Mike High-Key gotta brush his tooth. Like, look at that thing. This looks like a movie theater popcorn with extra butter. I will say he looks hella clean in this fit. And in game, even better because he throws gems. Play this skin in gem grab and the opponent will go to collect your main attack instead. Trust me. Now, I don't know what Runner Nita has to do with anything, but it looks pretty cool nonetheless. Her and Bruce are all futuristic and spacey, and her attack rolls the cylindrical tube of energy. While I would prefer a larger, more prominent attack like Werewatch Nita or Red Nose Nita, this is also fairly neat. And of course, Bruce looks awesome as always. Eldritch Professor Barley. It's fine. Mr. Krabs' tick truly does look like Mr. Krabs, maybe a bit too well. If I didn't know that this was tick, I would legitimately think that this was just Mr. Krabs in the game. Fittingly, Mr. Krabs' tick throws money for his attack and his eyes actually come off for his super, not his head. I find that so awesome because it's actually lore accurate since Mr. Krabs can pull his eyes out in the show. Dragon fruit is the definition of a B tier fruit. Mr. Dragon fruit on the other hand is like a B+ tier skin. I mean, he does look like a dragon fruit, I will give him that. He does indeed throw dragon fruit, I will also give him that. His porters are not dragon fruit, but they have the colors as such, so I'll give them that as well. It's such a random skin, but it's welcome. Crazy Clown Carl really is a crazy guy, isn't he? Look at him on his tiny little car and his big goggles and his colors. Oh my, what'll he ever do to me? Will he touch me? I sure hope not. Curse Pirate BB, such a good BB skin. This is like the baseline for what a BB skin should be. It's got a good amount of detail, everything is clean and readable, and it's just clean. I mean, well, the attacks are spooky and green, while the super is a big chain soul or something. It's a very, very solid skin, and there's literally nothing wrong with it. It's just, it could be a bit better. You know, there could be a bit more. Emerald Prince Sprout and Ruby Prince Sprout are based off the sword in the stone trope, which is clear based on the sword in the stone. He's even got a little smile on his sticky note now. But transitioning into the game, he throws swords at enemies and bursts into even more swords, and his super walls turn into castles. It's all super clean with very good theme. Jessie is Jessie made to look like Jessie, not Jessie, not Jessie, not Jessie, but Jessie. Jessie looks like Jessie, so it automatically has some juice. She gets a new attack sound effect, but I think it sounds kind of silly, but a new sound is a new sound at the end of the day. Jackie Kooky jumping around on a pogo stick instead of a drill is genius. It might not be everyone's style, but the hearts for her attack and super are very cute. While they aren't nearly as strong nor impactful as the other Jackie skins, it's pretty good for what it is. Witch Mandy currently is only available for Supercell ID points, but she's classified as a super rare, so that'll be what we base her on. Unlike Night Witch Mortis, Witch Mandy actually does look like a witch. She pulls it off really well, and I'm glad they didn't put it on someone else like Pam. Each attack shoots off a skeleton head, which is fitting, and her super is a sword, presumably from the skeletons too. Red Nose Nita, the better version of Rainbear Nita. It's actually Christmassy this time around, which you love to see. Of course, she shoots snow with her main attack, and of course, Bruce is all festive. It's big, it's snowy, it's impactful. W. Otis, another Zeta skin. I love Saitampo as much as the next person, like look at him, but this is too much, man. Where's the Tribe Luffy skin or the Tribe Kaner skin? But whatever. Otis looks like an emoji, first off. Second off, he's got this little vibe to him, which I adore. Of course, he has a trophy and a star with a goatee, everything you'd expect. Just like Gus, his shots are all pixelated, but you can't really hate the skin. Just Otis. Swamp Gene won't be everyone's favorite, but he's almost my favorite, which is what my mother said to me when I was little. I don't like how she called me Swamp Gene. He has these big hands and this gross green skin, but I think that's perfect for the vibe of this skin. His attacks are pretty silly. They burst into tadpoles and then die. That's really sad. His super is even sillier, being this big fat fish. For a super rare skin, this is great. Light Angel Colt, or Ginger Colt is what I like to call it. This Colt skin is the recolor of Dark Angel Colt, and despite being the complete opposite to him, it still retains the dark effects that Colt skin had. They really should have made the skin its own and be the opposite of Dark Angel, falling from the sky instead and shooting light projectiles. Think about how sick that would be. Now think about it some more, because I need to come up with something to say for Nerd Squeak. He seems like the kind of guy that gets bullied in school, but when you get to know him, he's actually super cool and fun to hang out with. Unfortunately, he is a pay-to-lose skin. On Nerd Squeak, he has a sigil that forms around each attack that tells the enemy exactly when it expires. Though by the time they see this and process it, it's already too late, but a nerf is a nerf. I will say though, it looks sick, so I'll gladly take the trade-off. Baiku Eve is so different from her usual space pod, yet it's so cool, and references the iconic Akira slide. Her attack and super are like these robot-y looking things. I don't know what they are. Mecha Mario looking super. It's probably some reference, but I don't get it. Still, a very solid skin though. What the f is this? This is the scariest skin ever. Oh my god. Why does he blink like that? Please go away. I don't like this one. Moon Guardian Hank was so hype when he was first released, but after experiencing him for some time, he quickly fell off for Rodeo Hank. Like, okay, Hank as a little bunny is cute, I'll give him that. The tank being one of those paper lanterns is also a great choice, but the attack itself, it's not for me. Don't get me wrong, it looks amazing, but part of Rodeo Hank's charm is that you can't see under the bubble. You can see right through this thing. Having it be transparent in the middle kind of just negates some of the power I need in Hank. RGB Hacker Brock, and Gold Hacker Brock. Now before some of you go commenting some bullshit like,
as a gamer myself, I cannot recommend this skin as the PC's internals will melt upon firing a single rocket. There's only one fan to cool the entire system, and by the looks of it, it's a very low-end system, judging on the 2 USB-A ports on the back. Modern motherboards usually have at least 4 to 6 USB ports, and don't even get me started on the—
shut up! This skin is cool, and you cannot say otherwise. This is one of the few skins that gets an animated texture on the skin itself, and the attacks are so good. It's all virusy, and the random floating cube is a pretty nice touch. Hermes Max is surprisingly only a super rare skin. I know I've said that a lot, but so many super rare skins are so good. And these get some really good effects for being one. I will ask you though, what are her attacks? I can't seem to figure it out. They look like spinning blades with feathers. I was originally thinking they were the eyes of those biblically accurate angels, but I kind of doubt it at this point. Let me know what you think down below. While her super isn't anything special, it puts wings on her back when she runs, which I personally think is so much cooler than just some radius effect. It doesn't give them to her teammates though, so that's a couple points off. BBRJ is adorable, and you cannot tell me otherwise. She just sits there and chews on her gum like letter B. I actually never noticed this, but her bat has her face on it, which is so silly. I want a bat with my face on it. Each attack puts some markings on the ground and drops some bouncy poofs of smoke too, and her super is like a fastball. It's such a charming skin, I don't care what you say. Heroin BB. No, not heroin, you addict. Heroin BB gets flack from Kairos Time Gaming because of her hair, which I think is very insensitive and rude. She has wonderful hair and a wonderful model. The techwear aesthetic looks great on her, and it looks even better in game, though I do wish her attack had a bit more sauce to it, since currently it's basically just a PNG. But her bubble is pretty cool. Archvillain B is actually monochrome, unlike a certain fraud I know. She has that classic Steamboat Willie inkblot style, which I'm sure brings back so many memories to some of you. Oh, who am I kidding? You're all 12. Supercell really went above and beyond here, making sure that each attack and super was as true to the style as possible. Now this skin is up your alley, viewer. L Baby Shark is Baby Shark, so it automatically gets a lower spot. But I can't help but love his funny little animation. He gets forced to dance around with the other fish, then looks super sad and exhausted, like he's being forced to do this every day. It's actually not that funny. I kind of feel bad for this guy. That's horrible. But anyways, he punches with sharks and supers with a trail of water that splashes down. It's such a shame. A cool effect has to be on a baby shark skin. Corrupted Sprout actually feels corrupted. I mean, it's essentially just Sprout with infections on him. There's no extra fluff, nothing unnecessarily there to bulk it up. It's exactly what it says, and I'm all for that simplicity. He even looks raw in game too. The balls he throws have such an essence to them when he lands. It actually feels like I'm throwing corruption at them. Though personally, I prefer Crimson. Haha. Trixie Colette and Impy Colette. While it's clear Trixie Colette is far superior to Impy Colette, I appreciate Impy Colette for who she is. While it's obvious this skin doesn't have any crazy effects or animations, the amount of aura that emits from these is unmatched. The colors work super well for her and their theming is clear. I feel like Plankton Daryl could have been far better suited on someone like Mo, but Plankton Daryl also works just fine. I mean, you get Plankton, Karen, and the Chum Bucket all in one! For Plankton Daryl's attack, they shoot off some kind of acid and the super makes him turn all radioactive. It's a fine skin, but definitely gets carried by being Plankton just a little bit. Monstro Miko! I don't know what he's supposed to be, maybe he's a monkey, who knows, but what I do know is that despite his looks, he's really cool. His brain is the size of Jimbo's and he's got a banana staff. A banana staff! It's almost like he's a monkey. While normally I would put a skin that looks like this lower, his effects are actually so cool. I don't even know what they are, but for a brawler like Miko, you definitely get your value. Dumpling Daryl is based off a bamboo steamer thing used to make dumplings and then shoots soy sauce. It's pretty simple, but I love the soy sauce effect that lands on the ground even after shooting. It's so inky and blotchy. Oh, it just looks so great. Unfortunately, he doesn't turn into a dumpling with his super, but come on, beggars can't be choosers, right? B-Bite could so easily be an epic skin, but unfortunately for us, it's super rare. While I'm not usually a fan of the tech wave skins, B-Bite does it exceptionally well. You can just see for yourself how well they pulled it off here. Shaman has to be on such a basic theme. Ninja Ash and Shinobi Ash are terrible ninjas. Look at these bright ass colors, bro. You're not hiding in no shadows, bro. Dumb as hell, bro. Look at these fools. What are you gonna do about it? Huh? Hit me with your blades of grass or something? That's what I thought. Yeah, throw those really cute kitsune rats at me. See if I care. God. Thief Edgar, despite being a mythic skin, feels like it's giving you the right amount of value. He's got an amazing design. I love the maroon and gold. It's such a good combo and the effects really aren't half bad. He actually gets some attack animations and he turns into a sandstorm himself when jumping. He's a thief and he stole my heart. And, well, this spot on the ranking. I actually have a keychain of Street Shade. Look at this. It's him. So I'm a bit biased, but come on. This is tough. He's straight vibing over here and look at that attack. It's so good. He even looks cool when he's in his super mode. I don't know if it's like that for every other Shade skin, but he looks extra good this way. Look at Desperado Pokemon is we are not horses. We are humans. Ah, guitar. Like, bro, you are not the front man, bro. Get out of here with that. His face looks like player 100 during hide and seek too. Who's this guy I think he is? Really? His attack and super are even horses too. Like, buddy, who even are you? You are not winning over the VIPs here. Humans are. Tokusatsu Colette's animation actually pairs up with Shin Edgar, which is very cool. Her attacks are also very cool. Her super, you guessed it, is also very cool. Her model is... oh, it's something else, huh? So it's important to know that a tokusatsu is a Japanese film or show which makes use of heavy special effects. I'm assuming this is a reference to something, but it's still a little bit freaky looking, though it's a good skin. Crow skins have disappointed me time and time again, and for a mythic crow skin, Moon Guardian Crow was so close to changing that. So close. He's got a far better animation than legendary Phoenix Crow, and his attacks look great with the yellow tip. Pause. And along with the fire, there are little fireworks going up. El Rudo Primo above all of these great skins? What do you mean? Well, clearly, you're an El Rudo Primo hater. This super rare skin is so clean. His design is simple, maybe a bit dated, but his punches shoot off these black flashes and scratch the ground below him. They even mark the enemy with this dark effect when hit, and his super crackles when they hit the ground. Fire skin, can't change in my mind. Empress Bonnie, like Evil Jean, is just evil. That's what they set out to achieve, and that's exactly what they did. She looking like Emperor Zug over here. Like, girl, you're a few years too early for that collab. I will say her attacks with the crackling black lightning is super tough, same with the black explosion during her super. She's over here breaking the Black Flash Road record and she don't even know it. Bull Mang thing makes Bull so short and stubby, but it's so adorable at the same time. Look at him in the eyes and tell him he's bad. You literally can't. There are no thoughts behind those lifeless eyes, and I'm all for it. He shoots some stars, charges with a heart, you know, nothing all that special, but man, is he just the cutest little thing. I know how it feels, Bullmang. I've been told that many times before. Lashana. Mecha Godzilla Nita, like Mecha Tekidora, is a masterclass in mecha skins. Like, when you think of a mecha, you probably think of something like this, with metal plates everywhere, screws, all that stuff. Her attack is also fairly creative. She rolls this big metal tire for some reason. It's kinda chill. But I can't lie, her bear looks super lame. Shit's as big as her. Like, I know they can't make it taller than the base model, but this stubby little thing has zero aura. Buzz Patrick looks just like Patrick Star, second to Mr. Crabstick for being accurate to the character. Usually, I don't talk about the Brawler's animation since I think that's not the most important thing out there, but having him jump out from under his rock was a detail that I didn't know I needed. For some reason, his buoy turns into a pineapple and he uses that to hook his enemies. If you know why it's a pineapple, let me know. I can't figure it out. CCTV Poco is literally just a dude. You can't make this shit up, bruh. He's just a guy. He might just be a dude, but this dude has some fire effects to him, shooting off some clefs. But there's just something about how his hat drapes over his back and seeing it move in game that truly makes this stand out amongst other Poco skins. Gummy Bear Nita has a secret little feature which changes the color of her hat and bruise every time she's used, letting her randomly be either pink, green, or blue. She might not have the flashiest attacks in the game, but the gelatinous bounce each shot has and the translucent bruise is enough to give her a pretty respectable spot. Whenever I see Crash Test Daryl, I think of the Series 1 CMF Crash Test minifigure. Just me? Aside from that, this skin just makes so much sense. Of course, he would have a skin based around tires. Better yet, it looks really good too. He shoots tires and he looks like a tire, and you won't believe this, but when he rolls, he leaves behind tire treads. It's almost as if the skin is based around tires. Maybe. I don't know. Stellar Shelly and Star Shelly are together. Now, to be completely fair, Stellar Shelly is far better than Star Shelly, but I just can't do that to her since she has that Star Shelly aura to her. Looking at both skins, they both get star-themed attacks and supers, and Stellar Shelly even gets a new animation, unlike Star Shelly, which looks so cool. If I were to be completely fair, I would keep Stellar Shelly around here, but move Star Shelly down to like the 500s or so. If she had a rarity, it would be around super rare. Bo Peep BB looks very cute in the Bo Peep fits. I don't know why they didn't give it to Piper since it would fit her a lot better, but I'm not complaining, I love BB. The rest of the skin is based around this wad of sheep for some reason, which you can really see in her super, but I put the skin so high up because of her main attack. Swinging it drops these flowers, but it also has a brand new sound effect to it, which really makes it stand out. Angel Jean looks a bit goofy, I'll be totally honest. It's trying to be one of those biblically accurate angels, a theme that I think is really cool, but it feels a bit bare, especially in the face. I get what they were going for, but a bit more should have been put into it. Though I will say it's a very good skin. The attack shooting off eyeballs is so freaky, but so fitting, especially since this is a super rare skin. Yes, Moldy Mike is a mythic skin, and yes, you might not think it's all that good, but come on, man, look at him. He's kinda cool. He fittingly gets the same atomic effect as Atomic El Primo, one of 2 skins to have it, by the way. He has flies around him too, like Poop Spike, one of 2 skins to have it, by the way. He even has cheese on his back, like Monterey Mo, one of 2 skins to have it, by the way. He also throws cheese, the only skin to have that, by the way. So why don't you keep that in mind when shitting on my boy? Okay? Smuggler Penny and Mooncursor Penny are really not the most innovative nor original skins on the market. I think we can all agree on that, but as I stated numerous times already, I can't help but love the feeling of a strong, impactful feeling attack, and these skins excel at that. These glowing balls of energy from both her attack and super feel like they're really doing big damage, and it feels like it's really hitting the opponents. I don't know, they're just so cool. Virus 8-Bit and Antivirus 8-Bit is a fan favorite because, yeah, I guess they're cool. I mean, yes, they're cool, but he is also a legendary skin, so keep that in mind. His attacks are little wavy beams, but his super doesn't have a single new effect in comparison to his base skin. Just a new looking station that, mind you, is kinda lame. That is the biggest scam in the entire game. Sure, the KO kill effect is nice, but when you don't even get a new effect for the main part of a brawler, then I can't tell anyone to buy this thing, unless you really think he looks that cool, which he does. but that's stupid. That's stupid. Extraterrestrial Eve is what happens when Supercell really goes all in with their space theme, and I mean, come on, who's better than Eve, am I right? I can't help but adore her babies too. They pop out of a flying saucer, and when you see these cute little purple blobs, like, that's the cutest thing ever. I just want to punch those little antennas and squish their faces like Melody's tit. Now we have every skin from Chinese Brawl Stars. I don't think it would be fair of me to rank them side by side for main servers, so we'll cover them in their own little section. Think of this as like DLC, but enough yapping, let's get to it. Starting with the worst Chinese skin, King Gigi Miko. He gets some brand new voice lines, all in Chinese of course, and look, a brand new model, but now he's King Gigi? Who even is that? In any case, he gets some leaf particle effects, but nothing else other than that. Ramble El Primo. He gets some new voice effects and this weird gross splash sound effect when he supers. Other than that, nothing else really changes, just some honey effects. He's really just uglier. Like, who the hell even is Bramble anyway? Logger Vic Dynamite. Logger Vic Dynamite. What did they do to my boy? Where's your beard? Why do you look like shaven Jimbo? Don't look at me like that. You freak! Stop talking to me like that! Stop! Please! Get him off my screen! Please, get him away! Rare Bull is kinda cute. I like his face. I don't know, he seems to be happy to be here. I think his attacks are honestly kinda cool too. They're like balls of mud or something. He is incredibly annoying when he supers though. Please stop. Rampage BB actually looks pretty awesome, kind of like Harley Quinn. The two-sided thing going on really does fit her, and the evil star in her bed is nice. I don't have any official gameplay of her, but I would assume it's just normal BB under there. Ace Pilot Max. This is literally just a normal rare skin. I don't know why they made this. Number 6, Fighter Jet Janet. That's a really stupid name. This is just an emo version of Janet, which is nice. Nothing else really changes though. Same deal with Trickster Chester. He just looks more like a clown, and that makes sense for him. He's also got these evil stars on his hat, just with 2 of them now. Ooh. Moon Guardian Edgar honestly looks like the Moon Guardian skins from the main servers, which I absolutely love. Despite how good this skin is, it just doesn't live up to the rest of the Chinese skins, and that really does put into perspective how crazy the rest of the skins get. I'll have to say the same regarding Moon Guardian Gus, who while is cute, is just alright compared to everything else coming up. And the same can also be said for Moon Guardian Nita, who is also really cute, and Bruce is horrifying. Ugh. She feels the most like mythic skin level quality out of these Moon Guardian China skins, but who cares? China skins are now just getting good. Pink Nezhar Edgar and Nezhar Edgar look pretty cool on the surface, but don't have as many flashy and cool effects as other skins on this list. It legit just feels like a skin we'd see on the main servers, just worse quality. Gold Yangjian Mortis and Yangjian Mortis have a dog, which automatically makes him better than the Edgars, but just like him, he feels like a normal skin that you'd see in our servers. Realistically, I would put him up in the top 150 or so if I had to. Idol Piper and Idol Piper Blue. I can already see the Sims drooling. I just don't see it though. Her face looks a bit weird. The attacks are very thin and the super is just alright. It's nothing all that great to be honest. She's just getting carried by her good looks. 8-Bit Frank and 8-Bit Surge are being put together because I think the actual 8-Bit effect is ass. You can barely make out what the form of the actual skin is in game. Outside of the game they look fine, but I can't stand the 8-Bit effect. They better not add this to normal Brawl Stars. Non-Pixel Frank and Black Pixel Frank are better than the Pixel versions, but still kinda basic. Red Pixel Surge and Black Pixel Surge also falls into this camp of bad pixel design. Silver Ultraman El Primo, and Brown Ultraman El Primo are all referencing Ultraman. If you couldn't guess already, I hate to say it, but he looks better than every Primo skin combined. The attacks actually have effects, the kill animation is fire, and the super is also pretty alright. Tong Hulu Jesse and Grape Sweetheart Jesse look nothing like Jesse, bro. Who are these frauds? At least with the other over-the-top skins, I can somewhat tell who they are, but with these fools, there's no shot. I will say the attacks and effects do look nice, and the actual design of these aren't all that bad. Interstellar Traveler Spike is one of the few China skins that truly could be in global. I love this skin, and so should you. Aries Meg looks absolutely insane, especially her brand new mecha, which stands tall compared to, well, everything else. Unfortunately, I do think her main attack shots are a bit lacking, and the rest of her just doesn't have that much going on comparatively. At the end of the day, her model is the best thing about her. Idol Melody and Red Idol Melody. While I could love nothing more than to put these higher up on the list, her actual effects and animations are not nearly as good as other ones coming up, which is crazy to say because this would probably be a top 100 skin in global. Cancer Edgar has a very very fitting name. I think his design is alright, but especially for a Zodiac skin, he falls a bit short. And since he's Edgar, he doesn't have that many effects to really look at. Ultraman Fang, Blue Ultraman Fang, and Gold Ultraman Fang are also Ultraman like Primo, because for some reason there are two Ultramans. Don't question it. Green Electric Toy Colt and Electric Toy Colt linked together with Electric Toy Shelly in the animation. The Colts are a bit lower than the Shellys because I feel his attacks and supers are just a little bit weaker than hers. They're not all that bad by any means, but well, let's just look at Shelly. Electric Toy Shelly and Orange Electric Toy Shelly have some clean attack and super effects, even more than Colt, and their models look even better. It's not all that different from them, but it's an improvement from the Colts. Ava Mortis, Ava Lily, and Ava Max. While each skin is pretty different from each other, I don't give a f. They're all basically the same. What's cool is that they each get their own little animation, like when you're unlocking them or something, which is something Global needs for collab skins and stuff. I think Lily is the weakest of the three, followed by Max and Mortis, but they're still cool skins though. Tron Mortis, Pink Tron Mortis, and Yellow Tron Mortis all have fairly neat skins. They all remind me of that one character from the Lego Movie 2, and that movie sucked. I think his super being this energy ball is very cool, but his attack is kind of lame, same with his kill animation. Virgo Colette has this dark academia vibe to her, and it's so sick, bro. But to be completely real with you, apart from her model, her attack and super is pretty standard. I would expect something like this to be on the main servers, to be honest. It doesn't mean that these skins are bad by any means. In fact, this would probably make it to the top 5 on the global servers. It's just not as good as the rest coming up. Taurus Bull stays away from the usual blue and purple aesthetic as the other Zodiac skins, and instead is this yellow, brown, and orange, the complete opposite. Those attacks are clean and the super is even better, and at the end of the day, it's Bull, so not that much can be done, but it's still incredible. Gemini, Larry, Lori are actually so cute. I mean, just look at them together. Super well designed skins and not too over the top. The attacks are incredibly cool and colorful, and Lori looks alright in game too. Scorpion BB looks insane like this. She's such a badass. I love her. Her super is a whole ass planet, and her attack, well, is pretty much non-existent, but in any case, super solid Chinese skin. PC's Piper is beautiful. I mean, just look at how gracefully she floats down with the fish surrounding her and the water effects on her umbrella and dress. It's all magnificent. The attacks are graceful, her super is massive, and the kill animation, that's something else, bruh. Fortunately, we can actually tell it's Piper here, but that won't be the case coming up. Sagittarius Bow was, from what I remember, the first of the Zodiac skins, and even so, it's so cool. He's got these massive wings and fires these dark arrow spears. The kill animation is even better than Piper's. It's an incredible skin, but there's some better ones coming up, like Aquarius M's. We know how good M skins are already, so of course this one's great as well. Just look at her. She's so majestic and displays more power and confidence with those wings pointing upwards, but no one cares. Look at those attacks. They're huge water bubbles that pop, and her super, that's just incredible. Capricorn Stew, of course, is near the top. I mean, bro literally has impact frames. I think out of every Zodiac skin, he has the most over-the-top, craziest model. His attacks are, of course, raw as f, and his purple flames are just as cool. But finally, the two best China Brawl Stars skins are extremely spicy Colette and Mapo Tofu Colette. I mean, come on, like what do you expect? What do you expect? Now we're back to the global skins, and we have Serenade Poco. What the f is Serenade Poco doing all the way up here? Well, Serenade Poco is a very good skin, that's why. You can't tell me you don't want to unlock the apartment door after a long day of work and see this guy spread on the bed with a rose in his mouth while romantic music is playing. Candles are lit and flicker on the wall. He beckons you closer with his bony little finger. Drawn in by the atmosphere, you go over, kick off your shoes, and hop into bed as he whispers into your ear. Feel the power of music. Oh. Grouch Miko really accentuates how far his jaw points out. Of course, this skin is supposed to be based on the Grinch, which was done quite well. He's got the classic snow effects to his abilities, which is to be expected for Christmas skins, except I think they just work a bit better on a brawler like Miko. If I were a girl, I would want to look like Lunar Piper. She out here with the Sailor Moon hairstyle. Like, bro, you cannot tell me that wouldn't look so fire IRL. Her dress is beautiful, and the little wispy things around her bring it all together so well. Everything about her, even her effects in game, are cute, flashy, and overall super solid. This is the baseline for what a Piper skin should be. But Mariposa Piper, oh, what do I have to say for Mariposa Piper? There's a lot of things I could say, but I won't. You don't want to know. Just know she deserves her spot here. Injustice Smasher BB, Justice Smasher BB, and Virtue Smasher BB are so ugly. I don't know how you can make a skin look this chopped. Like, bro, it's like they threw together some random assets and called it a day. But I will say this skin has some of the cleanest effects in the entire game, especially when it comes to the attack. It especially feels like she's effortlessly doing a massive swipe. If these skins looked 50% better, they would be top 50 for sure. Flag Bearer Piper reminds me of Spen LC because he loves feet. He loves feet so much feet. Spen LC, so much feet. Spen LC loves feet. He loves feet. Spen LC feet. Tick Shuki is by far the most pay to win skin in the entire game. But before we explain that, let's look at him. Look how cute he is. Okay, so based on the direction you throw your shots, his mines change direction as well. And when thrown in the top right, they look so much smaller than every other tick mine in the game. You see what I mean? That's pay to win if I've ever seen it. Sandy Jessie is, you guessed it, Jessie, but Sandy from SpongeBob. The skin itself is fine, but Gary being scrappy is actually the best thing ever. Look at him, bruh. He's just there. I really enjoy your attacks too. They're nuts inside of berries. Like, that's fire. Yeti Sam is really cool. Do you get it? Because he's cold. But being so real, this skin is so awesome. Did you know he actually shivers ever so slightly? Like, enhance zoom on this, he's cold. I almost feel bad for the guy. You know how much I like my snow effects, so there's not much explaining for this one's placement. Nia Nita and Rusho Nita's fits are low-key immaculate. I haven't seen a color scheme like these yet, and they pull it off so well. This is how you do recolor, Supercell. Take notes. Her attack even looks shinier than the others somehow. It's almost as if they're glowing. I love Nita skins, and this really shows why I do. I remember when Mothra Eve was announced, I thought this was a new brawler. That's how different she looks from her base model. Now, I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but either way, it's tough. As someone who hates bugs, this does a pretty good job at nailing that freak factor, especially her babies, which, make me shudder just thinking about them. Tempest Tara has a very good color palette. The off-green, white, yellow, and red all work nicely with one another and look even better in game. Though her attacks are the best thing about this skin. Supercell could have easily made their attack shoot just straight, but they added the spin, which adds a lot to it, and when they poof away, it actually feels like there's a reason for them to disappear. I love a skin with intentions, and this one has those for sure. Urban Ninja Tara has so much aura, bro. I really like the white and red theme of this skin, and while the attack and super is, kind of lame, I gotta say, the coolest thing, at least to me, is that if you rotate her at the exact same pace as the cards that circle around her, it starts looking real trippy. Vanara Frank has something to do with Hinduism, so I really don't know too much about its significance, but purely to an outsider with no knowledge, I think this skin is pretty cool. The pale off-white skin was a good color choice to match the yellows and oranges, and it all blends nicely and is far better than if it were a bunch of highly contrasting colors. It's also hella tough that its attacks are mountain. Like, can we talk about that? That's so cool. Shelly Dancer Dahlia, Shelly Dancer Iris, and Shelly Dancer are all some amazing Shelly skins. Especially Dahlia, but I'm neither here nor there. She for real looking like Jasmine, and I'm all for it. I think they nailed the fit here. Even better is that her attacks and supers look incredibly good. They get this like dark aura around them, which enhances the feel of them so much. If she just shot the gems and there was none of that, these skins would be nowhere near this placement. Mystic Meeple is a very solid skin. There's not much to say design wise. It all just kind of makes sense. Kind of like Guard Rico, he shoots off these scarabs with his attack, which actually make a ton of sense to be on Meeple since his shots home in. It's like they're flying towards their target. His super too, it's so mystical, and giving it that hexagonal pattern instead of just being circles adds to its charm. Merchant Gale was the first ever Brawl Pass skin and still holds up to this day, which is really surprising when looking at the other skins of this time period. The little snake in his basket is adorable, and you can even see it wrapped around the inside, a detail you wouldn't see today. Otherwise, his moves are all sandy, which just look great. I'm so surprised a skin like this still holds up strong to this day. Gamer BB is the recolor of Heroine BB, and for the first time ever, I think the recolor surpasses the original. While I think the colors on Heroine BB were a bit better, the effects on Gamer BB are far superior. I don't know if it's a glitch or not, but her attack looks far larger than it already is, though it's still tough, especially her super. It's giving Moustache vibe. World Finals Leon has a pretty boring design. To my knowledge, he's not associated to any specific team like Zeta skins, but I still think it has some sauce to him. The attacks are honestly legendary level, which isn't saying a lot since it's Leon, and his super is actually so cool. cool. He doesn't get any special trail effects like Mecha Leon does, but for an epic skin, I wouldn't expect it. Pretty solid skin. I see the idea with Angel Max, but she just ends up looking like a giant bug. It's an interesting design choice. It's even buggier when she's super since she gets these giant wings on her back too, or maybe it's like a church, you know? Those giant stained glass windows with Jesus on them. But to be completely real, Angel Max is a very messy skin with lots of unnecessary detail that tries to mask it with cool effects. But even though there's all these negatives, I still think it's really cool. Lantern Cindy might be a bit overrated and always promoted for $2 by Supercell for some reason, but you can't lie, it's gas. Like, those attacks are clean and the way it slowly falls at the peak of the attack is so satisfying. And of course, like every Sandy skin, the super cooks. This is the first real Sandy skin so far because they're all so good. Gruesome Gus is the Gus skin I use all the time, and it's only a super rare. He does everything so good and should be an epic skin. The brain balloon is so SpongeBob core and his design is simple but effective. The thing I love about Gruesome Gus is first his attack, which looks good as is, the ghosts, which are little skeleton souls, but the super, which actually changes the design, something that most other Gus skins fail to do for some reason. You get more value from this super rare skin than half of the other Gus skins. Sandy Koya's cute. Sandy Koya's got a nice bubbly attack. Sandy Koya's got this Mickey Mouse ass super. Sandy Koya's great. Jet Ski Jackie and Wave Hopper Jackie can ski over to my place and pop in my bed, let me tell you that. Jackie skins are great because usually big circular effects have lots of room for creativity and big flashy things. These skins do just that. Her attacks actually feel as if she's bursting the water out of the ground, and her super is just, I mean, just look at it. Chef's kiss. Wood Driver Stu got that Saja Boy energy. Pal, you're not part of the group, I'm sorry. Though he definitely could be with what he has to offer. It's a super rare skin that shoots off little wavy things and leaves flashy tiles on the ground. These just feel like the kind of effects that a K-pop star like him would have. Stone Troll Lou is less of a troll and more of a stone. Please don't add pocket golem Lou. He has some little birds in his belly and is holding another bird, which makes sense for his attack, which shoots even more birds, and his super, which features even more birds. It reminds me a lot of Haunted House 8-bit in that sense. While this isn't the craziest skin ever, it's incredibly charming. So now don't get it confused. Prankster Chester is not the same as Trickster Chester. This one is a little bit better. I mean, he's kind of just a guy, really. For a Brawl Academy skin, all his effects make sense, but he's just not as cool as the other Chester skins in my opinion. Though if simplicity is what you want, then he's a fine pick, but it's not what I want, so he's down here. Tanuki Jessie was one of the first Jessie skins to have a new attack sound effect. I think it has it in maybe one or two other skins as well, but in any way, the sound it makes is so satisfying. Just listen. It's music to my ears. Other than that, I think her design is so cute. Same with Scrappy. It reminds me so much of like Nintendo, mainly like Animal Crossing and Mario combined, except it's not. Dark Lord Spike is the only Spike skin to have voice lines, but who actually cares, bro? Anyways, this skin makes Spike look like the evil overlord that he is. Dark Lord Spike's giant hood thing also makes him look super menacing in game and is quite fun to look at. I really like how his attack blinks as it travels through the air, and it adds a bit of detail, and of course the super. The super is always good, it's Spike. Space Ox Spool was the first epic skin to have custom voice lines, but who actually cares again? This is, in my opinion, one of the best skins if you want a pretty classic futuristic space theme. The simple red and white are clean and his attack matches nicely. I love Meg because Rob, her mech, isn't trying to be anything other than a giant mech, so Monster Truck Meg is so cool to me since it's literally just a monster truck. It's nothing else but that. I also love Meg skins because she has so many projectiles, which leaves room for tons of effects, especially in this skin. She leaves tire treads as she walks as well, which is very fitting. Mecha Paladin Surge and Scarlet Paladin Surge are amazing mechas. Overall, these are super solid night-themed skins. There aren't many super special effects going on, but they're without a doubt on theme. Squidward Mortis, Blue Squidward Mortis, and Pink Squidward Mortis. I think Wasim once said Squidward Mortis was his favorite Mortis skin, and it's up there for mine. He of course looks just like Squidward, and his house house on his clarinet is so silly. For an epic Mortis skin, the effects are very solid, though it might just be me, but his super looks slower than the usual bats. Is that just me? Deep Key Pearl is an amazing skin for only 79 gems. It's so hard to make something look somewhat decent for a brawler that looks like this, but they did it, turning her into a dark castle with all these little moving elements. I personally like the skin even more than the only other viable Pearl skin, Periscope Pearl. The green steam that comes out when her heat is full looks quite good as well. Kraken Surge turns into a kraken on top of a ship. If that isn't tough, you're actually crazy. I just love how the tentacles lay on top of the ship and drape over the back wheel. It's little things like that which make skins feel alive and somewhat real. Aside from that, his effects are like a mini version of Cuttlefish Jackie's tentacles. Great skin overall, the theming is on point. Mecha Edgar Unit 0, and Mecha Edgar Unit 1, the third mecha skin so far? This was the last mecha skin that was actually somewhat decent. They're based on Evangelion, which you guys are too young to know, but when I say that it was peak, you can trust me on that. For a mecha skin, Edgar was an obvious choice, and I feel the team did well for what they had to work with, especially for that kill animation. Like, that's the cleanest one out there. Super Ranger Brock Yellow, Black, Pink, Red, and Blue are all far better versions of the original Super Ranger Brock by a long shot. It's so cool how they made a separate skin for each color, presumably because of the Power Ranger. They all have the same animations and effects, though the lingering fire for each feature their respective colors instead. Jaguar Spirit Meg's Meg looks so goofy, bro. You are not Mumbo Jumbo's Hermitcraft Season 8 base, bruh. Meg does this goofy little dance too. Like, what even is that? What are you doing? Stop it. Stop. Quit it. Other than being super goofy, it's clean and feels like you're pummeling your enemies with rocks, and I like that. Frankengrom used to be so good, but now he's a shell of his former self. The good old days. But hey, it's still alright now. His backpack's looking like Chomper, and the box on his head is silly, and there are faces on everything you see. His backpack, his own face, of course, his box, the attack projectile, their projectiles, and his super. Twice, put some silly faces on skins, and you already have my votes. Bye Bye Buzz can say hello to this spot on the list. Just like Woodriver Stu, he's a K-pop boy, but this time actually getting cool effects. Like, his attacks are whatever, but his super shooting a record is clean, especially paired with the music effects. Now, if only one of these music skins started playing Olivia Rodrigo. Headless Rider Stu. I'm sorry, Sullivan, but it's clickbait. He has a head. Look at that. There's clearly a head right there. But this is one of the most recognizable skins in the entire game purely because of the pumpkin design, which is something that every skin should strive for. Other than that, it's what you'd expect. Some green flames, spooky axes. It just makes sense, but I really can't justify putting it higher than here. Persephone Lumi low-key like Gratz. Good on one side, but a pedophile on the other. But this shit's fire. I can't even lie to you. The half and half look is tough. And for a super rare skin, it's very good. There's even a detail where shooting off her massive balls are dark, but bringing them back are light, hence the light and dark theme. I just think that's so cool. Tricky Janet is based on the second main character in the Subway Surfers cinematic universe, and I feel like Janet was a bad option for this. I feel someone like Pearl would have portrayed her far better. Despite this choice, her attacks are clean. I love how she drops spray paint cans, and have her fly around on the trademark hoverboard was a genius move. Fisherman Buzz is based on the fisherman from Project Rise, which is a super cool nod towards a popular game. Unfortunately, he doesn't fish slap the opponents, but the water effect is fun, but not as cool as Fenrir Buzz's ice. I will say this skin was bound to happen. The two hookers in the Supercell universe would unite one day. Mecha Tiki Dora Dark, and Mecha Tiki Dora Light. He's just a little robot guy that shoots laser beams from each of his 3 heads. They're all very solid robotic skins with effects that you would expect from, well, robotic skins like him. Carnival Mandy. Like, do I even need to explain myself? I mean, come on, bruh. Mandy skins infamously don't have the best effects, and this skin has some pretty decent ones, at least compared to the others. Her outfit's also alright. Odin Cordelius is a fan favorite skin, and for good reason. The slow turnaround is so menacing. Other than that, I think he might be a little bit overhyped. I mean, his attack is kind of lame, but his super is a crow. That's cool, right? No, not not really. It's neat, but there are far better skins out there. Gargoyle RT traps a little slime inside of his body, and I think that's cool. This skin really encapsulates the essence of a gargoyle, being stony, mysterious, and as bland and expensive as a statue. His base attacks are nothing to write home about, and his super attacks are fairly cool, but I feel like this should have been an epic skin rather than a mythic. Sally Nani is my personal go-to Nani skin. Even though her other ones are objectively better, I just think she's so cute. One look at that face and I'm already squealing and twiddling my little toes around. I didn't even mention the little worm that's piloting the helicopter. Oh my gosh, just knowing that I'll make him fly into a wall and kill himself is enough to get me going in the morning. Toon Spike was a great first paper skin, but Paper Cordelius was really pushing it. No one was asking for a Paper Cordelia skin, but here we are. Even though this isn't needed nor wanted, it still has that fun paper feel. It has that choppy animation, even paper effects in the Shadow Realm. The kill animation is even amazing as well. I will say, for a legendary skin, it's maybe not the best, but still very good. Wukong Miko, of course, inspired by Black Myth Wukong and nothing else, is a fire legendary skin. He got so much aura standing on that cloud like that. Man, get down from there. He even gets brand new voice lines. Bro starts talking like John Cena over here. Now, I do think his in-game effects aren't as flashy as some other epic Miko skins, but the sheer power that he has just existing is enough for me. Scarab Squeak is weirdly shiny. He's really shiny. Why does he look like he was just at like a Diddy party all slathered up in baby oil? I can't lie though, he does look kind of good like that, and I wish Melody looked like that too. Of course, he shoots scarabs and they explode into sand. What else would you expect? But just him existing, looking like he made out of glass, is enough for me. You just cannot go wrong with Rogue Mortis. He stands there like he owns the place, and in a way he does. Do you remember when this was the clip farming Mortis skin before Mecha Mortis was added? Everyone was rocking this skin, and it even holds up to this day. Sure, it's not as flashy as other Mortis skins or even other sand skins, and sure, he has that overused sand effect, but come on, it's still Rogue Mortis at the end of the day. I once called Scatty Jesse Skibbity Jesse and got clipped on TikTok. I won't ever forget that day. So this skin holds a very special place in my heart. But when actually looking at it, this is a really good skin. The Nordic vibes I get from her chill me to my core, and the 003 ice monkey shots are excellent. If that's your vibe, then Scotty Jesse is your skin. Better than liking Summer Jessie, I'll tell you that much. Tuss Nita is a skin that a lot of people hate, but I really like it. Sure, the legendary price tag might be a bit much, but you do get the value. She rolls a giant ball that you see elephants balance on for her attack, and the kill animation is amazing. Not to mention how dapper Bruce looks in that brown coat. It would have been super funny if he was walking around on the ball too, but for what it offers, I wouldn't mind dropping 300 gems for this. Surfer Carl has got to be my favorite Carl skin. While it's not as over the top as some of the other skin, like Bro is literally just a surfer, he has some of the best water attacks and supers in the game. I mean, come on, just look at these compared to any of the previous water abilities we've seen so far. You could see why I put it so high. But there's one that's even better all the way near the top, so stick around for that one. Squeak Buster Gale. Is it a Squeak skin, a Buster skin, or a Gale skin? I know, I'm a bit of a comedian. Yeah. This skin is based on Ghostbusters, if that wasn't obvious already from the attack, super design, or name. I really don't feel like splitting up the Pro Pass skins, so Ultra Astro Cult, Hyperion Cult, Guardian Cult, Astro Cult 8, and Astro Cult 3 will all be together, even if they're not all equal. I'll just count them as like a bundle deal, right? For this and the other Pro Pass skin we see coming up, it'll be counted as a $25 USD skin since there's no real price tag on that. So this is pretty much just between a legendary and a hypercharge. While it's true, he does look a little bit goofy in his hypercharged form, the rest of it is pretty great. It's got a sick kill animation, alright effects, he even has a respawn effect. I wouldn't, want this skin, like I wouldn't hand someone a $25 bill and pay for it, but it does still have some sauce to him, even if the sauce is a little expired and doesn't taste the best, but it's still like kind of tastes like it. Kitsune Lola is my favorite Lola skin out there. The Kitsune as her scarf is so adorable, and the entire outfit with everything else looks so good. Though I will say this is the weakest of the Ayakashi clan skins purely because of her attack and super, which are supposed to have this inky effect but kind of fall short on achieving that. I think Truant Penny has a pretty ugly color scheme, but the little sway back and forth is super cute, I will say. But that doesn't matter because she She looks incredible in game with flashy attacks and some of the best Penny supers in the entire game. Like, look at that. They're pencils. Oh, I love pencils. Whale Watch Nita, for only a super rare skin, mind you, gets custom sound effects, and that's something only a few epic skins and most of the legendary skins have. Not to mention, it's a great skin. She fires a wave of water, and when Bruce lands, he splashes fish everywhere. That's so silly. I love when they put melody references in other skins. Caesar Sam's animation has a ton of character to it. You can see his fists lose control and he has to put them back into their place like he's an American pre-1865. Little details like that just add so much to a skin. You love to see it. Paragon Mecha Colt, Renegade Mecha Colt, and Mecha Colt truly are the skins of all time. No one asked for a Mecha Colt. No one wanted a Mecha Colt, but we got it anyway. And you know what? I'm kind of glad we did. Mecha Colt is good. No matter how much I don't want to say it, it's tough, man. It's tough. Alley Cat Bull is 1% Mafia Boss, 99% cat. What I'm trying to say is that the cat carries the skin. A poor guy even has a robotic arm. He thinks he's Maisie, bruh. You're not. You're not Maisie. Fortunately for us, the rest of the skin is also cat themed. The attacks are paws and they scratch upon landing, and even gets this cat shield around him during his super. With how many Colt skins there are, so many of them are terrible. Woody Colt is less terrible than the others, but still not the best. He was the prime candidate to become Woody, and it just makes so much sense. I really like how his guns are boots and he shoots snakes. That's a reference. He even gets some new sound effects, which really make him sound like a toy. Wanderer Gray has the most chopped hairline I have ever seen. Bro thinks he's Jimbo, but I'm not making fun of him and Gray. He's a samurai. I love how he shoots swords. That's cool, but his super is really good, shooting shoji that open and close. There's something about Wanderer Gray that's just so good despite the lack of like flashy effects. It's just really good. Hades Mortis, Pluto Mortis, and Serapis Mortis all have this weird color palette. I don't think it's nearly as bad as another similar skin we'll see later, but it's still a bit strange. But just like him, the effects are very good, but for some reason each attack drops leaves on the ground, but his super shooting souls is sick. Saloon 8-Bit and Piano 8-Bit got this fire theme to it. Bro really thinks he's a piano zombie. I really like this skin though, because you can just sit here and tap him over and over, listening to the different tunes he has to offer. Him shooting music notes looks super clean, but unfortunately, the super radius is super basic. Kasiobake Piper, Yokai Piper, and Tsukumogami Piper. Can anyone, even just one of you, tell me who or what he is? Why does he look like that? Why does he exist? Why is he looking at me like that? Please, anyone tell me, like, this skin is great and it has killer effects. But what is that? And what? I don't know what that is. It makes me so upset. Trash Panda Penny is the best Penny skin ever made. She looks great with the zombie schoolgirl vibe and the raccoon or the Trash Panda. It's so silly. I love him. Each attack fires a hand which twiddles its fingers like it's trying to touch me. And of course, his super is the Trash Panda itself. It's not the flashiest skin, nor is it really the best, but to me, this skin is peak. This is where skins get really good, starting with Medusa M's, Ruby Medusa M's, and Sapphire Medusa M's, which are all great skins. I mean, of course they are. It's M's. She's still got that sassy vibe to her. Even their snakes look like they're judging you. But her attack is so creative. They spray like usual, but every stage slowly gets harder and harder until they crumble into pieces, and her super spawns a massive snake that travels through. Is that a JoJo reference? Oh my gosh. Oh, guys, I think it's a reference. Amazing Maisie, Titanium Maisie, and Fuchsia Maisie definitely are. I will come clean though. I never really liked JoJo's. I know. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I got past, I don't know, the Phantom Blood arc, something like that. I will say though, these skins are up there for a reason. They do a pretty good job hitting that anime aesthetic, from the katakana whenever she shoots to the toon styled and the impact frames in the super. It honestly might get me to watch again. Probably not though. Crocodile Buster is so cute. He's so happy to be with his crocodile friend, and that vest is a bit small on him, but I don't mind. Anyways, he shoots his crocodile capturing nets at the enemies, which cartoonishly fly into the air, and his super is just another net. Still looks cool though. Infernal Fang might look a little silly. Oh, that's it. I mean, the idea is there, but the colors are just all over the place. Blue, red, pink, white, black, yellow, maroon, magenta. There's just way too much going on here. But despite that, his wings flap in game and each attack and super feel good to use. I can look past the egregious color choices for what you get inside of a real match. Demon Willow has the opposite effect to Infernal Fang. Her design is incredible. The red skin stands out so much, but is complemented by the dark clothes and the yellow accents, which helps separate each element. It feels perfectly detailed, though her abilities are fairly lackluster, but I can look past the simple attacks and supers for what you get to look at. Whenever I think of Desert Scorpion Chuck, I think of this image. I love this image, but the skin itself is a legendary and it definitely works as one, but I feel it's a bit basic, you know? There's nothing that makes it stand out against, like, you know, every other legendary skin, and all of its effects get outclassed by an even better epic Chuck skin later on. Don't even get me started on that crappy ass kill animation, but you know what? I'm moving him down a few spots. He used to be at spot number 56, now he's right here. Inspector Colette really nails that creepy trained woman vibe while keeping her signature Colette look. But who really cares about all that nonsense? We're here for the attacks, and this has to be one of my favorite single shooters in the game. Just look at how raw that is, bruh. That's so cool. The way White Wolf Leon turns to you, stares you in your eyes, and pounces is legitimately freaky, and I love it. And his super, even better. Spawning a tree with a moon in the background makes it the best Leon super by a long shot. The rest of the skin is pretty alright, nothing to complain about. I do especially love the impact effect from his attack. Murder Meg actually incorporates her mecha into her animation for once, which is quite nice to see. The wings make her look massive in game, and the attacks are, of course, quite clean. We just have so many angel skins already and all of them fall a bit short. Still, you really just can't go wrong with the Meg skins, but I do think if they made a dark version of the skin with evil animations and effects, it would be 100 times more fire. There's gotta be someone at Supercell HQ that loves green because Kabocha Fang is covered in it. This fool might look like Nub3, but he's really just Dream. Unlike Infernal Fang, who I would say has slightly better effects, Kabocha Fang has a very good model paired with very good effects. It's like having an S tier super with a B tier attack, while Kabocha Fang has an A tier super and an A tier attack. The hell's this guy even yapping about? Frost Queen Amber used to be such a good skin, but after they made it a legendary, it feels like some of that magic is lost. But you can't lie, it's still very good. The frosty wisps in each attack, the icicles in her super, and when killing an enemy, to the magical Elsa feel the entire thing gives off. While it was better as an epic, it still holds value as a legendary. Just like Colt, we have our second ever Pro Pass skins. Ghoulish Dynamite, Possessed Dynamite, Ghastly Dynamite, Haunted Dynamite, Oculus Dynamite. Okay, so making this fool Ghoulish Dynamite, this translucent green, is the coolest thing they've ever done. And he looks even better in game. Like, just look at that. Look, each attack and super also play into this ghoulish theme based around candles and ghosts and stuff. I don't know, man. When you look at this, you've got me sold. Even in his normal form, he's still alright. It's weirdly shiny though. Lunar Sprout has some interesting attacks, but it's a great skin. The attacks start off with Moonrock, but then break off after the first bounce into the butt object, and the super is also Moonrock. I just think the theming on this skin works so well, and he's just so cute. I don't know about that attack. Black Godzilla Buzz, and Red Godzilla Buzz. Our first hypercharged skin so far. Let's go! Well, that's not too great for him. So hypercharged skins, unlike other skins, are the most expensive ones in the entire game at a ridiculous price of 799 gems, or just around $45 each. So for $45, you get a chunky boy with this Squid Game boat. He shoots flames and throws the boat. His kill animation is like a worse version of Surge Kunk's super, and his actual hypercharge form turns into a massive Godzilla with a bigger boat. While the skin is pretty tough, I wouldn't say it's worth the price tag at all. Ringmaster Byron looks exactly how I would think a demonic Ringmaster would look. He's just missing the top hats. The eyeballs on his staff and in his backpack are really sick to me, especially how the one on his staff moves around. I don't know, something about that is so raw. Fortunately for me, each attack has the same eyeball effect. Some people think that Tengu Angelo is really ugly, and yes, while they are, this is what a Tengu would look like. The fit isn't even that bad either. It's clean. This is honestly my go-to Angelo skin out of all of them. I love their hair. Each attack is kind of interesting because depending on how much is charged, the tip will change its color. Cerberus Tick is a silly little guy. He's based on Cerberus, you know, that three-headed dog that guards those gates in hell and is usually super menacing. I feel like someone missed the memo here. He's not menacing, but that's not a bad thing at all. They're so adorable. Skeletal Surge, Villainous Skeletal Surge, and Anti-Hero Skeletal Surge are like those Matchbox cards which try to look super edgy but ends up looking really corny. That's what these skins are. They're not bad by any means, but I feel like they're definitely made for a younger audience, which is saying a lot for Brawl Stars, but I will give it credit, the attacks are amazing and the super is even better. Uno Chester came with the Uno collab, of course, which was the most random, weird collab Brawl Stars has ever done, yet I don't see anyone complaining. This skin is fire, and as someone who loves Uno to death, this skin is great. I mean, he has cards spilling from his head and branding everywhere, and of course, since it's Chester, you do get 5 supers in one. Sir Genie is indeed a genie. As Surge. I just think this guy has some great effects. I mean, it's Surge, of course he does. It's all got the mystical genie feeling thing to it that you would need in a genie skin, like the lamp and like the no legs and like, you know, the lamp. Sir Genie, I have one wish for you. Please make a summer melody skin. Dark Angel Larry Lori, Angel Larry Lori, and Radiant Larry Lori. So cool. It makes so much sense for them to have a dark and light skin like this. It's the only brawler which it would truly work on, and the animations it features fit the theme very, very well. Larry's main attack feels, well, radiant, and Lori's is all evil and stuff. Ooh. Scorpion Willow is yet another super rare skin, which is really impressive. I really like the cool color scheme it has and the scorpion tail for her hair, but that's not why we're here. We're here for that attack, which throws a little scorpion and bursts a massive scorpion tail from the ground, and I just think that's so sick. It feels like its own kill effect, but it's not a kill effect. And it's on a super rare skin. Heavy Kenji, Iodashio Kenji, and Mumushi Kenji are all so incredibly fire. The robot snake wrapped around his body brings it all together, and the rest, especially with Heavy Kenji, have colors that work well together just wonderfully. For some reason, the green effects always look the best, and that's definitely present here. Corsair Colt. Wow, that's an old skin. I originally thought this skin was butt cheeks and had it way lower on the list, but look at this. He's literally shooting cannons with his attacks. That looks so good. And imagine if they updated this skin as well and gave this skin some custom explosion sounds too. Oh, that would be so good. Wood Spirit Chester is the best value skin money can buy. This Chester skin is only a super rare and you get a ton with it. First, the model is really silly and very magical. Love it. He of course gets 5 supers in one, which all look far better than previous Chester skins thus far, remember, for a super rare. And even the attacks are flashy and bright. There are some better Chester skins out there, but this is a must buy for literally anybody. To be completely fair, Pekash is not really that good. He is the Pekka and that's very cool, but other than that, he's kind of ass. The grass that he shoots doesn't hit as hard as I want it, and the rats could have so easily been something like butterflies or mini Pekkas, but for the sheer fact that this is based on Mommy Pekka, I have to put it here. Shell Blaster Gale blasts his shiny pearls all inside of me with his abilities. That's what his super does. The name really doesn't lie because his blaster is actually covered by 2 shells. Buddy out here looking like a Koopa Troopa. He even shoots out eggs, and his super is wave riding turtles. If that isn't the cutest thing you've ever seen, then I don't even. Dionysus Angelo has so much personality, and it really shows for a super rare skin. They're just a drunkard wobbling around in the air, and it reminds me of someone I know. I think the colors are also good. So good. It's very pink with some purple and blues. They all work well together, and in game, all the effects and animations look so good. You might not get as much value as Wood Spirit Chester or something, but I feel there's more to the skin metaphorically. Or whatever. This is like the 5th time we've seen a scarab in a skin. I thought Supercell was obsessed with like spike socks, but I guess it's this stupid little guy. In any case, we have Fair Otis. Usually I hate Otis skins, but there's something about this one that stands out. It's super simple, but at the same time it's super adorable. For some reason his attacks turn super dark, which no, I'm not complaining. Nightmare Nani is so sick. It might not look like much on the surface, but her animation makes her look so pissed to be in this cage. Of course, her attacks are green. Green attacks are cool, and her super is also green. To be more specific, a green flaming eyeball. Like what? That's so cool. You really cannot go wrong with Zeus Brock. I adore the bright colors, and that cloud is mesmerizing. Just look at that jiggle. Just like the real Zeus, he fires off lightning with his attack and super and calls down a lightning strike like he's got a channeling trident. One of the cleanest 199 gem Brock skins out there, and the only one, to be frank. I spent so long wondering who the AEB could be. It turns out it's just B but backwards. I don't know why they named her this way, but it's quirky, I guess. I don't want to make it sound like I'm complaining, but I don't know what she's supposed to be. I mean, I know she's a vampire, that much is obvious, but why is her name backwards? What's the point of that? Supercell. Tengu Mike is above Tengu Angelo because he just seems a bit better, just a little bit better in every way. Like 5%. This is actually what I would imagine a Tengu to look like, and it seems Google agrees with me. His attack and super are just better too, partially because he is Dynamite, so they kind of have to look cool. Not a single person was expecting Supercell to make Sheepish Daryl. Everyone thought it was going to be some stupid ass collab like Toy Story Part 2 or Shaun the Sheep. Why the would it be Shaun the Sheep? That's the best you could come up with, Brawl Reflex? In any case, this skin is so silly. He's a big cuddly sheep and his clouds look like popcorn. Maisie would be proud. Intergalactic Griff is something I honestly have no clue what he's supposed to be, but I think he has incredible effects. The attacks are, you know, they're whatever, they're nice, but the super is where the skin really comes all together. He fires a few floppy disks that try to load, but it gets stopped by an error at the peak of his super. I just think that's so cool. Queen Juju is yet another super rare skin, and I think this skin fits her personality so well. She's sassy, she's confident, of course she'd be a queen. And having Gregory wave the fan on her makes it all so good. I love Gregory. Each elemental attack has a different look to it. On land, her attack is a sandstorm with a snake in it. In grass, it's cacti, and on water, it creates a little oasis. And of course, Gregory is over here just being himself. Apart from Chester, Juju skins will be decent value for your buck. El Grillo. What are you? Why are you moving your hips like that? Why is there a spike on your butt? Do you want me to smack it? Hiya! Yeah, I bet you like that, Primo. Decaying Dynamite looks like me when I have 2 balls in my hands. Soccer ball and football. Jam Master Hank is just incredible. I mean, just look at him. There's a fun detail everywhere you look. The last Hank skin released, Moon Guardian Hank, really disappointed me, so seeing these effects and animations really make up for it. The bubble especially looks beautiful, and it's solid! Yes! Crowbone will always be one of the greats. He's so cool. The skull mask with the purple and red outfit and touch of green in the bottle. It's all so good. Base attack ones look huge and poisonous. I was in love with D4R4 Y1 the moment he was released. He completely changes into this purple robot, but more importantly, his attacks turn into spitting laser blasts. While in today's standards, this is pretty basic, at the time, this was so good, especially when it was only a super rare skin like this. I've kind of got like cloudy vision on how quality the skin is, but he's staying here. Shukuteki Tara does that head turn thing that I love, but then she jumps in slow motion, bro. What? She really thinks she's in some sort of edit, bro. I appreciate this skin quite a lot because it keeps the colors limited. There's black, pink, and yellow. They don't throw in a random green or a spot of blue. It knows its color palette and it stays with it, which I respect a lot. I also respect her attack since she throws knives instead of her usual square cards. Very cool decision, Supercell. I think Spirit Knight Frank was the first Supercell make skin, and it turned out to be amazing. I'm fairly sure this was the first one to feature the flame effect as well, and it does it very well. Without that, we would be seeing it far lower down on the list. Each attack in Super feels like an anime villain sending flaming slashes through the ground. Aquamarine Sprout is such an adorable little robot. My little headcanon for him is that the heart on his back of him represents his lifespan, so he's got about 40% of his life left until he dies. Each attack Sprout throws drops a random splatter of paint, which truly feel as if they're bursting when it explodes. Same with the super, which spawns a random assortment of coral, and since you can't really see where one tile ends and the next starts, it gives the illusion of an actual reef. Fair Ollie. God, is that another scarab? How many is that so far? Whatever, he got that King Tut vibe to him with his stupid facial hair and headwear, just on a coffin skateboard this time. Of course, he fires more scarabs for his attack, but at least the trail effects look cool. Same with his super. You're so done with these freaking bugs, bruh. Demon M's is one of the coolest demon skins there is. From the flowing things on her back, the little flying skull, to the mask that she makes her eyes look really high up on her head. Each attack fires a cloud of demon bats, which is cool in its own right, but I love this super. It reminds me of that one move in Hades 2. Coretta Spike is an interesting skin. He's the broken down animatronic thing with this flashing LED effect to him. I will note it keeps the same pose no matter how you rotate him, so, you know, take that as you will. His attacks and supers kind of remind me of a flashier Robo Spike, which, you know, the more I think about it, might actually be the whole idea of the skin. Somehow Rudaloo passed all copyright concerns, and thankfully he did, because this is such a silly skin. Of course, it's supposed to be based on Cartman from South Park, just with ever so slightly altered colors. It has this interesting effect which makes him 3D but incredibly flat. People say this is a lazy skin, but I don't see any better way they could have made this skin look good other than this. In game, he always looks directly at the camera no matter what you do, so it leaves him looking kind of goofy, but in a good way, especially when you spin. Valkyrie Janet's not the Valkyrie I know. Where's the two-piece, the big axe, and the orange hair? I don't want whatever this is. The only way you could win me back is with some cool effect. Oh. These are fire. Every other Janet skin feels like her super bombs are just some bouncy balls falling on the ground, but this skin actually makes it feel like they're crashing into the ground, like a bowling ball. Dark Angel Colt definitely is a Dark Angel, though I feel his design is kind of scattered around. There's no real focal point, nowhere my eye is drawn to specifically, which I think is a big problem. Most, if not all, good skins have that, and despite this, I do think the idea is cool, and the dark blue effects for his attack look really cool. Hellbull definitely looks like he came from hell, along with Kit and Mortis. Brawl looks like he at Comic-Con cosplaying as some racist fool from Hazbin Hotel. Like, buddy, you're too hot to be doing this. I will say his effects are cool, but unnecessary. Kind of like Ferotis, who had these super dark attacks. It's the same for Hellbull. I would have loved to see some more flames and, you know, hell aspects incorporated instead of just making it dark. Streetwear M's, Hypebeast M's, and Techwear M's all have these super jittery, fun animations to them, which I think are super satisfying to look at. Not to mention the colors, which actually look great compared to the other Brawl Pass skins. Her attacks remind me of Medusa M's a lot, but just a little bit inkier, and her super is just a better DJ M's. Ascended 8-bit actually looks so awesome like this. It's like the golden barley of True Gold skins. It might not be as shiny as True Gold 8-bit, but it's golden enough and looks sick doing so. His attacks and supers are what you'd expect from an Angel skin like this, but there's not really anything wrong with it at all. Rodeo Hank is a hood classic. While I would love nothing more than to put this at #1, it just can't be. I'm sorry, but even so, he's milk. Milk Hank, Spinal Seat Nubs 3, Milk Hank, Hanky Milk, Hank Milk, there's so much milk. Some people might think that Jock Stew is not worth the legendary price, but I honestly think it is. It turns Stew into something completely different, yet keep his original features intact. The attacks are tadpoles and his super is a spiky, fiery slash. While this is all fine and pretty average, his kill animation, a feature exclusive to legendary and hypercharged skins, is by far my favorite one, with a fish monster chopping down on the ground. Everything about him is high B tier, but his kill effect is at the top of S tier. Firewing Janet is supposed to be a superhero, and you're probably expecting me to say she doesn't look like one, but you'd be wrong. She really looks like a hero. I don't know what kind, but she does, and looks so fire-wing doing so. Of course, the attacks and supers are flamey, but they've also got some of that Janet charm in it. With music notes and tiles and stuff, definitely the best Janet skin out there, if there wasn't another one coming soon that's even better. Gigantifist Grey looks a lot like a certain German dictator from the mid-1900s, but that's not the reason he's all the way up here, because you can't lie, this fit is insanely hard. And while Grey never has the flashiest attacks out there, he pulls it off very well. Lunar Janet, like Lunar Piper, has some of that Sailor Moon energy to her, and this time it's even better. The bunny rocket on her back is adorable, and the little faces on her wand and belt make it. But the reason she's so high up is because of her attack and super, which make it look like these black holes. While they're not as flashy as someone like Firewing Janet or Valkyrie Janet, I think they're definitely the toughest. Tanuki Sprout is yet another adorable skin. Like, look at that little guy hop into his little hot tub. That's actually the cutest thing I've ever seen. If you didn't know this was Sprout, you might think that this was a brand new brawler, but nope. It's still him, and if that wasn't enough, his effects are just as good, shooting entire hot springs at enemies. It's all near perfect, it's just a shame that the super is one of the worst ones Sprout has to offer. I'm thinking it's supposed to be like a bonsai garden or something, but it looks so out of place since there's nothing to differentiate it from the ground around it. Maybe if they just gave it a small black border or something, it would be 10 times better. It would be better. Demon Mortis, Devilish Mortis, and Lambent Mortis are all amazing Mortis skins. Their base form is already great and looks the closest to a real demon compared to every other demon skin, but his hypercharged form turns that up to 100, which make him look so incredibly menacing. You can already see how much of a step up this is compared to Godzilla Buzz. Poop Spike. Ugh, he's literally just a pile of He even has a little turd friend next to him. Quit looking so happy. And of course, they made it a mythic skin too, but he's up here for a reason. Despite being one of my personal least favorite skins ever, his effects are quite good. The happy poop friend that he throws, the poop that splatters on impact points, the rainbows they spit out, even the flies that buzz around his super poop. I can't lie, it's a very well made skin, and if you really love scat, whoa, you'll love Poop Spike. Mork Fenrir Buzz, Elder Fenrir Buzz, and Fenrir Buzz are all cute puppy dogs. Oh, look at them. He thinks he's so gangster with the chain and scars and mohawk. You know, you're not. The attack he shoots off is definitely one of the best Buzz attacks there is, shooting these icicles, which is so cool. Santa Stu is the best version of the many Santa skins out there because he actually looks like Santa. I mean, Ho 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 Bo sorta does, but look at Stu. He's jolly and he even has a huge sack out. While his attack is dumb as hell, his super leaves snowy patches on the ground with presents falling through, and you know me by now. I love my snowy effects. Thor BB looks so tough in that fit, and while the hat looks a little bit goofy, overall it's solid. The attack, of course, is good since it's the BB skin, but the super is what makes it especially good. She throws her hammer and it spins around like Carl, sending shockwaves wherever it bounces, and the kill animation sending down a lightning strike looks so awesome. Especially if there are a lot of enemies present, the whole skin just feels so powerful to use, albeit a bit basic. Moon Guardian Chester. Just look at this guy and tell me he isn't deserving of this spot, because there's no way he's not when he looks like that. Dragons coming from your head, that's so heat. Then of course he gets 5 brand new supers, which all have this Chinese New Year vibe to them, and the attacks are even better in my opinion, because if they don't hit a target, they just fall over and die. Brother Bo and Supreme Bo, also like Vanara Frank, have Hindu ties. While I don't know anything about it, these skins are just, as skins, so awesome. These are the type of fits I'd see Link rocking in Legend of Zelda, and there's just something about the firework explosions when his attacks land which is so interesting to me. They lack the big cartoonish blast like others do, which gives it a whole new vibe. Hoot Hoot Shelly's outfit is the type of shit I'd see in the back of a Spencer's, which is the exact reason it's up here. And the owl? He's cute too. I think our attack is what really makes this skin so great. They're little gooey owl eyes that split apart once hitting the ground and stay together when hitting an enemy, and her super is a bunch of ghostly owls. You know how good green projectiles are by now, and I think these just look great with her and fit the aesthetic wonderfully. Ghost Diver Rico. Holy fart, bro, this is so awesome. Where do I even start? The harpoon gun, the mines floating around him, the swampy green aesthetic. It's also, as the kids say, aura. Not to mention that attack and super, which are these little ocean creatures which splash into the ground. Supercell could have easily done something boring like making them explosives, but they went above and beyond to give him more character, which I always appreciate. The Aces Grum has some more Hindu elements that I don't understand, but out of all of these Hindu skins, this one has the most aura to him. I mean, he has these little heads that float around his head. That's just so cool. Unfortunately, you can't see them in game, but that barely matters when you're throwing giant swords at anyone who stands in your way. Dark Samurai Jean is actually aura farming too much in the animation, I can't lie. Like, buddy, you do not need to do all that. This skin is the classic, dark, edgy one that's made to be all emo, but girl, I don't care if it's a bit corny, it looks so cool. Those attacks are incredibly clean, and the super, just as good. Squad Buster Shelly is legitimately amazing. Love or hate Squad Busters, all of their Ultra and Ultimate forms cook, and this is a prime example. It uses that line art aesthetic with cell shading that other skins have, and that's what really sells the skin in my opinion. While yes, the attacks and supers are a bit underwhelming, I think this is definitely the best looking Shelly skin. Emphasis on looking. Plague Doctor Crow, Death's Door Crow, and Old Hunter Crow. These things look so insane. It's about time Crow got a skin like this. His dagger look better than the others in my honest opinion, and they really give him the impact that's needed. Cuttlefish Jackie will always be remembered for flipping off the camera in that one animation, and despite how cool she is in there, she's even cooler in game. Her attack this time around makes tentacles spawn out from below her, which is cool, and her super has even more tentacles. As I already said, I love Jackie skins, and especially for the rarity of this one, which is super rare, it's amazing. Starhorse Berry out here looking like an actual diva. Pop off, big man, you rock that crop top. But for real, he do be rocking it. and considering berry skins have attacks that linger for a long time on the field, there's tons of room for creative attacks, and this is definitely one of them. It's like a black hole sucking everything around it inside. Because of this, they look like eyeballs, so you can make fun character designs like this elephant. Dark Angel Edgar, Lightbearer Edgar, and Nightbringer Edgar are some of the most over-the-top, crazy skins global Brawl Stars has to offer. He has rings everywhere, eyeballs, blinking black holes, so many wings, he's actually insane. I mean, his base form is whatever, right? It's Edgar, but once he's hypercharged, that's when goes crazy. It would be a dishonor if I were to put him any lower than here. Angel Lily, while not as over the top as Dark Angel Edgar, is still one of my favorite skins. She has a very clear color thing going on with the pinks and whites, and the little black accents help to break it up a bit more. And the pinkness seeps into her attack and super as well with added hearts. My girl Lily has never been cuter. Oniotis is the best Ayakashi clan skin. His design is great, and I'm glad they could actually add an Oni in the form of his tail hose on the back. I call this the best skin of the series because his effects feel the most wispy and Japanese, if that makes sense. They're super bold and stand out a ton. Vanguard is upside down, which means he's automatically 50% cooler than every other skin in the game. He's got this super glitchy effect, which actually feels, well, glitchy. And the design is also clean, very fluorescent and bright, and of course his attacks are just as glitchy as the rest of the skin. Loki Chester, in my opinion, is the best Chester skin. I love the color scheme, and giant, exaggerated horns holding the rocks is super great. But no one cares about that. We care about the effects. He throws rocks for his main attack, like how I throw rocks at kids crossing the street when they get off the bus. The main reason I like this skin is because of the different supers, which feel so much cleaner than the others. Mecha Mortis, Dark Mecha Mortis, and Light Mecha Mortis. Definitely one of the cleanest mecha skins with his big sword and snatched waist. You've all seen what Mecha Mortis looks like. Flashy attack, Citron ass super, it's all there. You can't go wrong. Ember de la Vega is criminally underrated. The dark outfit reminds me of the oil that she splashes on the ground and are a great contrast to the warm colors of her fire. Her attack too? Oh my gosh, her attack is the best one on any Amber skin. It looks like she's slashing her sword around every time she shoots, and the subtle dark effect around each flame makes it all seem so powerful. One of my favorite Amber skins, I don't care. As a Chuck main, Electroid Chuck is the best Chuck skin money can buy. He looks like the Sparky from Clash Royale and like some evil mastermind. While his effects are not the craziest things out there, just being a storm cloud, some electric posts, and blue train tracks, I think the overall theming of it really just makes this skin so good. Pegasus Berry don't gotta look so cool, bro. Look at him. The wings, of course, look great in game, and his attacks have this muddy green look to them that, I don't know. Something about berry attacks always activates some neuron in my brain that makes me go, yes. Sovereign Bling Rico, Sovereign Gem Rico, and Sovereign Rico would be at the very top of the list for many of you. I already know that. And yeah, I would agree, these skins are so fire. But then again, you have to remember they cost around $45 each. I just don't think the attacks or supers are all that amazing, and while the hypercharged form is really cool, I think the attack is no better than Loaded Rico, and that's the main thing you're going to be seeing in game. Neon Jellyfish Sandy, and Glowing Jellyfish Sandy are also fluorescent and even get custom snot bubbles when he snores. Not to mention his attacks, which are amazing looking waves of water that really splash into the enemies, and his super, it's so calming, almost mesmerizing. I could look into it all day. Bless Buster thinks he's so cute holding up those peace signs, and he is. Oh, I love Buster. He follows this very orange color scheme, which I enjoy quite a lot compared to the flashy bright colors the other angel skins have. But that doesn't mean his attacks and supers had to be any different. They're so pleasant to look at. I don't know, man. I can't help but always think that Hypno Sandy carries around a huge fart bubble, and now that I see it, you have to see it too. But you can also see that he has these animated clothes as well. I've never noticed that. For a legendary skin, I think he might be a little bit overpriced, but out of every Sandy skin, the Sleepy Brawler, this one feels the most like Sleepy Sandy, especially in the suit. Grim Gus will finally be the skin that'll let me replace Gruesome Gus for me. I mean, just look at his new balloon, bro. He's so fat. Oh my gosh. Gus looks more like a rock star than an evil demon boy, but wait, what is that? I need him. I need him. Sorry, there's just so much going on. His attacks are sick, and the super and spirits are adorable. Oh, how is this evil skin just so cute? There's so many little things going. Oh my gosh, I love this. Oh my god. Sea Dog Ruffs. Yeah, I wasn't expecting a Ruff skins this high either, but Sea Dog's Ruff is the very best pirate skin there is. He's the best pirate captain and will be the king of the dogs. He fires off his dual shot cannons, which explode on impact, and his super drops a treasure map. I really love this skin, not only because he's got Luffy's scar, but because there's no extra going on? He's clearly just a pirate, and you know what? That's all you need sometimes. Minotaur Bull thinks he a piglin with the gold armor on. Doesn't he know it'll break soon? Not smart, Minotaur Bull. I absolutely love his attacks, which are golden and kind of dissolve at the peak, and his super is cool. And I don't know. It's just good. Megalodon. Come on. It's Megalodon. Best Meg skin, and it's hard to beat. First, the name. I mean, Megalodon. It's made for Meg. Second, look at that snout. He's really something else. Third, the attack. It's green. It's shiny, it's strong, I love it. Fourth, the super. It's more than just a slash, it's got this delay to it which makes it so smooth. Finally, fifth, that respawn animation, bro. Oh my god, look at him, that's so cool. Athena Piper does like 7 twirls in 3 seconds. That's just too much, bro, you don't gotta do all that. But I mean, just look at her. The dress is low-key beautiful, her shield is huge and pretty, and there's something about the pink on that helmet which brings the rest of the white and blue of the skin together. When she fires an attack, it just looks so pristine. It's got to be one of the cleanest skins in the entire game, no doubt about it. It might not be everyone's cup of tea, but I'd share more than a cup of tea with her. Mecha Finks, Mecha Chief Finks, and Crimson Tie Finks. Yeah, I wasn't expecting a mecha in the top 30 either, but here we are. Not a single person ever asked Supercell for a Mecha Finks skin, but I'm honestly so glad they did. He gives off the vibe that he's a mini boss or the highest guard in an army of robots, which I find to be so neat, all supported by his super attacks, even kill animation. At the end of the day, it's still a mecha skin, but definitely the best one that we've seen. Spectacular Sam, just as the name implies, is spectacular. Bro got the chocolate and vanilla swirl hair, the majestic things around his arms, and of course, a majestic Doctor Strange cape. He punches electrified bullets and fires off a rotating thing. I don't know what that is, but it looks really cool. Toon Spike was the only Toon skin to truly do it right. He's a cute boy with bright colors and massive eyes. I really enjoy how rotating him only moves the model in like separate frames, if that makes sense. I mean, we've seen it once before, but he was the first one to really do it. Of course, Toon Spike carries the Toon aesthetic in a battle with cartoonish attacks and supers, and the kill animation just makes it all that much better, displaying a speech bubble when they die. Dread Knight Draco gotta be the most emo skin I've ever seen. His voice even sounds like he's using some voice changer to sound like that. You ain't fooling nobody, bro. We know what you sound like. I still do think the skin is amazing. The blue flames on the back are crazy cool, and his horse even taps its hooves to the beat. Like, come on. Not to mention the attacks and supers just complement the rest of the skin so well, even if they're just like fire. Oni Kenji and Cursed Kenji. While Cursed Kenji is just an inferior version to Oni Kenji since he's not a hypercharged skin, I won't hold that against him because 90% of the time you'll be seeing him. This skin brings back the cartoon style, but this time with more of a manga feel to it. His hypercharged form has it too and looks even more menacing. All he's missing is a sword in his mouth. I think the attacks and supers are very clean and overall just look pretty damn cool. Like, there's nothing really to complain about. DJ Poco, Scratcher Poco, and Beat Matcher Poco. I would have never expected Poco, of all brawlers, to get a hypercharged skin, but here we are. I also think it's really sick that his mask is likely supposed to be based on MF Doom, intentional or not. His attacks and super also look like a musical variation of a so, and you know how much I love Equilibrium Buster, another superhero skin, but this time he has a superpower, which is made abundantly obvious due to all of his fashion choices. From the clock on his head, his neck, his projector, his side, and his back. There's even one in his pants, I checked. Unlike Blast Buster, where I felt his super was a bit small, this one feels a bit larger and definitely more imposing with a fire ticking animation to go with it. Aries Nani has always been an incredible skin. After all this time, she's golden with purple and red accents, all implying that she's royal, but with a design that she's powerful. As a skin that's trying to depict the god of war, it definitely comes across this way as she shoots spinning axes while Peep swings around swords and axes of his own, raining down weapons upon exploding. For a mythic skin, this is a must buy. Night Jackie's animations make her look bald, which isn't the best look for her, but the entire thing makes me think she's a bit too small to fit into this outfit and wield that sword. These details add a lot to a skin, I'm telling you. And of course, we can't forget about the sword slashes under each attack and the beautiful super as well. You know I love Jackie skins, and this is one of the best. Nightmare Sandy has that creepy edgelord vibe down to the T, with the slight head and hand twitchers and Pause? He's a furry! Furry or not, his attacks being this dark cloud surrounding these chains is immensely cool. And talk about that super, bro. All this for 149 gems is actually wild. Night Amber looks like a dude. I don't know if they were going for that, but girl, she has a full-on beard. You know, I love my transgender representation, but I don't think that was the point. In any case, this skin is pretty fire, no pun intended. She shoots these giant black wisps that just feel so powerful, and her super not only bubbles up into the air, but burning enemies burns them with said black wisps. All this for an epic skin? That's insane. Night Belle has similar vibes to Equilibrium Buster for me. It might be the blue skin or gold and white aesthetics, I'm not sure. But what I do know is that she looks so badass here. The way she's pointing her sword like she's about to slay a massive beast gives me the shivers, and that mark effect, it's so good. This will definitely be my new go-to Belle skin once it's released. Protector Grom has that chill dad energy to him, like he's there, beating up baddies on the street, but coming home to his 2 daughters and hot wife. The fact that I can come up with this little story for him already shows you that Supercell cooked with the skin if they can make the player imagine more than what they show. It doesn't end there, as the attacks are flashy and spiky, and the super twirls in the air and bursts into massive yellow spikes. Icarus Bonnie is a super rare skin. That's right, all the way up here is a super rare skin. That's insane. Bonnie looks like she could really be a Roman soldier, especially with attacks like that. She's firing spinning stars in both her cannon and human form, but her super far exceeds any expectations I have for a super rare skin. She flies up and lands with the sun rising into the sky. It's amazing. This is a great skin. Witch Jelly is simply a witch. Nothing more, nothing less. The skin alone is very whatever, you know, it's super rare quality at best. But she has something that no other brawler has. A tiny black cat who hops around but goes to sit on her hat. When you shake her around, the cat's head flips back and forth. I don't care about any other animation or effects she might have. This is what makes the skin brilliant. Night Lily. Just look at her. Her cape flowing in the wind, the broken sword attached to her arm, the evil glare, the battle-worn armor. It all says so much about where she came from and what happened. This is peak skin design right here. She attacks by jabbing the enemy with her sword and throws her shield at them for her super. I absolutely love the theming of this skin, and it's Lily. I love Lily. Virus Charlie, I feel, nails the virus look far better than any other skin has. Better than Vanguard, Glitch Larry Lori, even PSG Shelly. The lines of binary running down her body help sell it, and come on, all those legs look so menacing, especially that spinning blade above her. And unlike some other virus skins I know, her super actually gets an effect. An incredible one at that. Usually these glitch skins are a hit or miss, but I would 100% hit. This skin is also very good as well. Jessie Musketeer is another Clash Royale skin, but blew me away the first time I saw it. She's based on, you guessed it, the Musketeer, and actually resembles her super well. Scrappy over here isn't a Musketeer. Sorry, man. But what I love about this skin more than the model is the attack. She shoots a massive cannonball that bounces between enemies, which looks so menacing rolling across the ground. And look at that. Scrappy has them too. Maybe you can be a Musketeer, Scrappy. I'm sorry I doubted you, little buddy. Poseidon RT has always been my favorite RT skin and one of my favorites of all time, even if it's not too popular. He's such a large, boxy brawler, but they're able to make it look so cohesive and just good. Something about the tentacles in the back, don't take that the wrong way, the little car he's riding around in, all brought together by these pastel colors. It's so good. Even the attacks, firing tridents, and the super splashes, which look even better than any Jackie attack there is. He's got it all, and is definitely a skin that you should be giving some more love to. Blue King Frank and Red King Frank, the most expensive skins in Brawl Stars history, costing you $300 each because of Supercell ID rewards. While no skin is worth that much, they are technically classified as legendary skins, so I'll judge them as such. Thank goodness for that, because they are incredible. Based on the King from Merge Tactics, both variants resemble them exceptionally well with that big fat man look. Each attack fires cannonballs along the ground, and his super is a bunch of crown towers. That's just the coolest thing out there, bruh. Night Doug crawls towards you like I do towards Melody. There aren't any great Doug skins out there, but this has to be the best. While he looks a little bit goofy since he is Doug, that attack is the best in the game. You can't argue with it. He drops this dark, evil energy from the sky that spreads out around him into some spikes. I love how it really looks like it's seeping around him and into the ground. It's so prominent and so powerful. His super is just a spiky ball, which is fire, but come on, it's a Doug super. You can't complain. Now, the best skin in Brawl Stars is actually a tie between 3 skins because King Archer Bow, King Starther Bow, and Night Bow are 3 of the very best skins Brawl Stars has ever made. And they're Brawl Pass skins. That's crazy. I call these the best for many reasons. Their armor screams knight, of course, and each one looks as if they could serve in different armies or something. They tell a story in their design and their colors. They're jam-packed with a ton of detail, but are still cohesive and stay true to their color palette without adding any unnecessary nonsense. I just love every attack as well. Landing shots feel so satisfying when wings shoot up from the sky and look even more powerful with his super. If you were to get any Brawl Pass, this is the one to get, and these 3 skins are tied for the #1 spot. And there we go. That's every single skin in Brawl Stars ranked from worst to best. If you enjoyed this video even a little, make sure to subscribe because this took a while. Use code Muyo in the Brawl Stars shop, and I'll see you soon.